Quiesce. and welcome to a show we haven't seen for a damn long time on stream, Redacted. Hello, how are you all doing this fair Friday evening here on Quiz Night? Blank, I miss thee, very much so. Thank you very much for the follow there, Cole. Appreciate that. Welcome on into Quiz Night. You tuned in at just the right time because we're about to start one of the main games this evening. We had the warm-up there with Brain Teaser, with people trying to get into my mind. Yeah, you might have noticed we didn't have any J word in that sequence. It's a bit difficult finding words that start and end in the letter J. There are some out there, but I don't think anyone would have gotten any of them. So I decided to skip over the J. Unfortunately, sorry, David J. Yeah, all the others we were able to get from A through M. Maybe we can get the back half of the alphabet. Although we sort of did that kind of trick last time round. I need to change it up a bit every now and then. Yeah, hope you're enjoying that little warm-up there with Brain Teaser. And we've got Redacted now. This pack written by Arun Aromatics and has been proofed by Inca. Now, it's going to be a very interesting pack to play through. Certainly, there's a bit of a storyline leading through round one, which we'll talk about when we get there.
Had a fun time getting into your brain.
Oh, did you now?
You probably should lay down a carpet or something. It would improve the feng shui.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Thank you for the 100 bits, only. I will take that into consideration for next time. And thank you for Pozdan gifting out a sub over to Cat Cow Pose. That's a greatly appreciated gift sub over there, Pozdan. Very generous of you. And
no
100
idea
for Vixen.
What we are about to play, but that intro was awesome.
That intro was awesome. Thank you, Vixen. Now, the actual art for the vast majority of this game, I can't take credit for. It was an asset pack I purchased off of somewhere. I actually can't remember exactly where it was, but it's a dedicated asset pack for this kind of detective, kind of noir kind of thing. And it's in fact their example scene that they have set up in Unity. And I just fly the camera around there, and all the stuff that appears on the desk and on the chalkboard. That is my stuff, but everything else around it is stuff I've just purchased.
Ears.
What was that? What would bears be without bees? Ears. You can have a buzz for that one there. Thank you for the 18-month, the Twitch twins there, Daddy. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. But yes, I can't take credit for most of the artwork in this, but certainly for the pieces of paper and for the on-screen UI stuff, that's stuff that I've added on top. But everything else is MasterCard. No, well, kind of. MasterCard did end up paying for it, using a credit card to pay for it. But yes. But yes, this is a very interesting show where the majority of the time you have to try and figure out what fills in the blanks in a lot of what you see. It could be in some text, it could be in some images. We might even shred some documents up later on as well, and you have to try and figure out what the shredded documents all mean. All will be explained when we get through those particular rounds. All you need to do right now to join the game is enter in the room code into the public chat, and that room code tonight is KOIW. Enter that in, as ABB has just demonstrated, plus many others, and you'll be entered into this game, this quiz. We play for Dukes. That is my local currency around these parts. And the better you do, the more Dukes you get. And if you are the best player at the end of the main part of this game, you get to play a bonus round versus everybody else to try and get even more Dukes. And when I say even more, like, we're looking at potentially 100,000 Dukes plus, depending on how well you do in the bonus round side. But if you fail the bonus round, then you could lose all of that to the audience instead. What is this? Someone's trying to we've got the live exchange rate here for British pounds to the Duke coin is 0.000000000000000000000. Yeah, unfortunately, when you round it to the nearest the nearest quadrillionth, it's no, you get nothing out of that. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't really value anything apart from tickets at the end of the season. So yeah, Alice did incredibly well at the end of last time's stream of the first stream of season 14. We hit tipping point for the first time on the wheel, which kind of required me to figure out what the rules were because I haven't actually worked that out. So we ended up doing 12 tokens plus then 3 as the final gamble, and she got to 12, got the prize token on the tipping point but didn't fall over, decided to do the ultimate gamble, and then 2 tokens later it fell over, and 225,000 Dukes the richer for Alice at the end of that stream, and suddenly takes the lead on the Dute leaderboard. Because unfortunately not many people survived the drop on Wednesday. It was only Tipster. Everybody else dropped out somewhere. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit more fortune with paying Dukes out tonight, because, well, you can't lose any, let's put it that way. You can only gain them by giving me correct answers. What's the exchange rate between Dukes and the Fun Bucks over on the Dumpster Lounge? I would need to talk to JB about that on the exchange rate for that. But I don't know what it quite would be. It might even be just a 1-to-1, who knows. Until Wipeout. Oh, that's true, Sunny Cat. Yes, Wipeout later on will indeed wipe out Dukes. But this is a different game. It's a different game entirely. Don't need to worry about that right now. What you do need to worry about, though, in terms of answering for this game, is you'll need to answer to the Quizbot. Quizbot 3000 as a whisper message. Because we want to try and keep your messages as private as possible in this game. Now, if you're on mobile, it is difficult to do so. So you can use public chat, and hopefully the bots will delete your message when you have messaged during a live question in the public chat, and it'll still accept it. But if you can, whisper to Quizbot 3000, because that means you are definitely answering as securely as possible to Quizbots, so that nobody else can see what your answers are, and we'll have a nice fair game of Redacted this evening. Music is possibly a little too loud. I could certainly bring it down. Those strings there at the end of that particular bed is quite hot, I will say. But it's only in this part where those actually play, and at the end in the bonus. Everything else it's fairly under the radar in terms of mix. But I can adjust things, so yeah, that's fine. We have a phone number requirement for whispers. Really? Do you? Well, that's just going to be a Twitch thing. That's nothing that I've done on my end. That'll just be Twitch being overly protective, thinking that you might be a spam bot or something along those lines. I think that's the only thing as to why that's happening, because obviously there have been problems in the past where people have sent messages as whispers to Quizbot and it just hasn't delivered at all. This is just probably another of those kind of mitigation steps where they're trying to stop bad actors from whispering loads of times on Twitch. The ultimate aim, the ultimate solution is, of course, hackboxify this, but I didn't want to put the effort into hackboxing this at all until I know that I want to continue doing this game, because the reason for the long hiatus has been because, well, I have gremlins with this game, essentially. The last time we ran it, I was not happy with it whatsoever, and it did not bring me joy, is all I'll say on that front. And I just wanted just done with it. But I'm going to go for it one more time tonight, see how it all goes, see how it all shakes out. If it all plays okay, then we can do another game in the future, and then I'll look to hackboxing it up as well so that we get a better experience to the game as well. Some of the rounds are going to be difficult for me to actually do that, but we'll see.
Don't be a D-word with answers.
That's pretty much the case, JB. Yes. Yeah. Please be as courteous as you can with your answers. Don't be too memey. Though, you know, the odd laugh here and there is fine. Just don't go overboard with it. And that's one of the main problems that happened last time, is that people just took one joke and then run it through the ground, and I was like, I have to go through all these answers. Waste time just going through all that when we could have just been done with like earlier on. But yes, I have a thing called a black stamp in this game, black mark, and if those are issued too many times to a particular user, then you are booted from the game, essentially. It's just a countermeasure that I had to implement at one point because people are pushing their luck a little too much, and they kind of needed the boot to say, hello, stop please, thanks. And yeah, they'll only come into use if I absolutely have to use them. So yeah, just be courteous with your answers, and yes, you will have multiple answers to give on certain questions. Just don't go wasting them entirely. All right. I think that is everything to address. The lobby will be open throughout the entirety of the main game, so late joiners will be able to join with KOIW as well. And yeah, I think that's everything covered. I've said about Whispering to Quizbot 3000. We've got players already joining. I think we're good to go. And I think we're hitting the end of the bed, or is this the 2/3 point? No, this is the end of the bed for the second time round. So, I think we should get this game underway and let's play Redacted. Now we're going to bump it up slightly because we've now dealt with the strings situation. So, this is chapter number 1, known as Complete the Redacted. You will be seeing statements with a number of words or phrases redacted in said statement. Your objective is to fill those blanks with what they should be in the statement. And just a reminder, in this round, you can give as many answers as there are blanks on the page to fill. So on that example on the right-hand side, we've got 2 blanks to fill, blank A and blank B. Scottish tennis player Andy Blank won their first Wimbledon championship in blank. Now, you don't need to give me A or B as a prefix to your answer. It will just know what answer you're going for. So you don't have to worry about prefixing any answers. But what you need to do is be careful to answer once. Send a single message per answer. Don't put all of them in one because it will count that as one answer in case. So send them as separate messages. In this case, Murray for A, 2013 for B. Now, you don't have to go for one answer purely on each blank, and you don't have to do it in that order. You can go for 2 answers on one of the blanks. So, like, if you don't know what the name of the player is, but you've got an idea of what the year is, then you could say 2012 as one message, 2013 as a second message. That is perfectly allowable. You'll only get points for ones that you match correctly, and you'll just lose. You just won't get the points on the other one. But you can do a scattergun approach on that, or try all of the answers if you do have all of the knowledge on all the statements. It's entirely how you want to go with it. And you can, as I say, give as many answers as there are blanks on the page to fill. Now, this particular round by Arun does have a bit of a story to it. The story goes that he went to go and watch comedy performance by, I think it was Russell Howard, something like that. And Arun has been very kind to essentially transcribe some of the comedy material provided by Russell Howard in that evening as the questions and the statements that you'll be seeing tonight. So it's a bit of a comedy skit here. We're going to be seeing some comical statements, and you just need to fill in the blanks in the comical statements. Okay, that is what we're doing. This is chapter 1, Complete the Redacted. As always, pay attention to chat. Chat will always have the questions, apart from image-based ones, which will come down later, but all the text ones will definitely appear in chat earlier than it will appear on screen. And remember, whisper to Quizbot 3000 if you can, please. Okay, let's get this game underway. Your first statement to consider is this. What's the deal with airline food? I was on a Qantas flight, the flag-carrying airline of blank, and the hostess said, "We're out of beef." So I said, "Well, I've actually got beef. With you. Give me the lamb and give me some blank sauce, the sauce that traditionally accompanies it." So there are 2 blanks to fill, so you can give me 2 answers. And you can notice at the bottom of this screen on stream when your answers come through. And also the bot will alert you when you give me too many messages as well. Please, as a whisper to Quizbot 3000, apparently it's not deleting messages, which is interesting. Why is it not deleting messages? Oh, is this I think I know why it's not deleting messages. Okay, yeah, I know why it's not deleting messages, because this is still relying on the older way of doing the deletes, which is /delete as an actual message, which is now no longer the case. They've removed that as a thing for some stupid reason. They can't do backwards compatibility on Twitch. You have to issue the proper API call now, which is a different thing. So we may have to engage emote mode for the questions potentially. Unfortunately, not going to be able to answer in public chat. It's because the answers are just going to be left there for all to see, unfortunately. That's the only. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that potentially. That's the only option we've got for protecting people from giving out answers, essentially. And yeah, if you can, please whisper to Quizbot 3000. Oh right, and there's Brand New Halo, also another one getting hit by the phone number verification. Yeah, that is apparently a thing that Twitch have done. Nothing that I can do about that. That's just a Twitch decision, presumably, as I say, to try and stop bad actors from spamming people by actually verifying that you're actually human with a phone number account. If that is a showstopper for people, so that you literally can't play because you can't verify on the phone, there not really isn't much I can do about that. Unfortunately, my hands are tied. It would basically mean forcing having to do Hackbox in future and removing being able to do whispers, which is a kick in the teeth. That's a real kick in the teeth. That thankfully Wipeout later on has Hackbox, so we can do that and not have to worry about it. Yeah, I can't. I do apologise. I had no idea this was coming. I did not know that they were just going to enforce a new rule on whispers just like that. I mean, it's the start of a new month. Presumably, that's why, when they decided to do it. But I can't do much about that. If you can't whisper, then hands are tied at this point, because I have to continue on as it is, and there won't be an official press release, Ralph. No, not on this. Jesus, they don't mention anything about the small implementation details. They never mention that. They only go for the fancy news. Like they mentioned about Dino Dance this week, which everybody hated. And it was only done because of a special event with Pokemon. That was the only reason they updated the Dino Dance emote, and then they reverted it back. They make a big song and dance about that, but then literally nothing else that actually matters to people. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Let's mark some answers, shall we, before I stress myself with nothing really to do with the game, even though it happens to be redacted again. Right, Ashley, give this a fair chance, okay? We've got 15 players that have gone with Australia, which is blank A. Yes, Qantas is the flag-carrying airline of Australia. That is absolutely right. 70 players have given me the answer of mint, and I could give you an A+ on that. Yes, mint sauce is the traditional sauce that accompanies lamb. Now let's go through some other answers that were provided. UAE, Bechamel, Qatar. I see why you might go for Qatar for Qantas. It's a bit of a sort of a anagram situation there, but not quite that. Cranberry, Australia, oi, oi, oi. I'll give you that one. Saudi Arabia, it's not that. Qatar Airways, another one going that way. Abu Dhabi, Australia, Hoisin. You've done that thing, Jake, where I mentioned you did the thing where I mentioned you shouldn't be putting multiple answers in one message. For the one time, I do this for everyone on this game. I give you one chance and I give you one for free, but after that I don't mark them as correct because you've not followed the rules correctly. But everybody else there, those are other answers that I can't mark as correct. So I give you one chance. So there is your one.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one, exactly, JB. Thank you for the 100 bits. So yes, in this round, 200 for each blank that you can fill. So we've got quite a few getting the 400 and a few getting 200 for one of those blanks as well. Hey, don't worry about it, Jake. Everybody has issues with following games on here. Like these between like me and Ben and Topper are probably the most complicated quizzes that you will find on Twitch, because there's various things you have to do and juggle. Like most other quizzes that you see on like big streams, it's like multiple choice A, B, C, D. That's literally it. You only like answer once every few minutes, or it's like a Family Feud type thing where you submit one answer and then wait 25 minutes for them to deliberate their answers. We do things a lot more complicated here, and also it's been a long time since we've done this game as well. So it's getting people back into the old mindset. Right, that is how this all works. Let's continue on with your second statement. Relationships are weird these days, aren't they? I wish things would go back to how they were in the old days, when you could divorce someone because they weren't attractive in real life compared to their portrait, like Henry VIII did with blank. Instead, we're all on Tinder swiping blank if we like the person shown on the screen. 2 blanks to fill. You can give me 2 answers. Goodness me, these are diatribes, these. Only barely fitting on the screen. And in the case, because Silver Electron just got a message there saying they've already guessed that answer, because we've been able to figure out that you've already answered for a specific result, generally means you've given the right answer, though we do have explicit wrong answers written as well. If we know that that's the case, then obviously then you are free to guess another time, because we already know you've provided that answer for us. Right. Let's mark this one off. So we've got 23 that have gone right. Is that the right direction? It is the right direction, yes. Swipe right if you like the person shown on the screen. 10 players have gone for Anne of Cleves. Anne of Cleves, is it? Let me have a look here. Yeah, I can take that. Yes, Henry VIII did with Anne of Cleves a divorce of sorts. Now, I need to mark Anna of Cleves. That is close enough for me. I'll take that. His wives. Now, not all of them puzzled down, unfortunately. You've got a bit too broad. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. So there were 2 divorces there I need to deal with. Is that the case? There. So Mary, Queen of Scots. His wives, Catherine of Aragon, is Flanders Mare. Anne of Cleves came at 4, fell for the portrait I saw, then laid eyes on her face and cried, "She's a horse, I must have another divorce." Thank you for that, Mark. So I'm going to presume then, based on what I'm seeing right here, that I can't take any other answers provided. It's not the Catherine of Aragon, not Catherine, not Anne Boleyn, different Anne, not Mary, Queen of Scots. So yeah, I'm going to say no to those. Catherine Parr, not that one, not Anne Boleyn, another Anne, and not left this time. Now, you might have done the scatter approach, have gone left and right, so you pretty much get you the right answer, but unfortunately, it does waste an answer by doing that. How many got the 2 blanks there? 10 players got the 2 blanks, so 400 apiece, and we've got 14 players giving me 1 of the correct blanks. Nicely done. Okay, moving on to statement number 3. Let's continue on. Seem to be doing okay. So what's the deal with airport security? You'll be in blank International Airport in Washington, D.C., named after a U.S. Secretary of State, and the guy will come up to you and say, "You can't take blank acid on the plane, sir," and you'll be like, "It's just vinegar." 2 blanks to fill, 2 answers you can give. What is the deal with airport security? Certainly in the States with TSA. Ooh. I mean, you could also just pay your way through security. That's also an option, apparently. Let's have a look at some answers. So we've got Dulles. Dulles, Washington Dulles Airport, yes, is correct for blank A. 9 players have gone for Ethanoic. Ethanoic acid, yes. Can also take acetic acid for blank B. Yes, vinegar, ethanoic, or acetic acid. Any of those would be accepted. Options we've got to go through. We've got sulfuric, no. JFK, no. Kennedy, no. Kennedy's in New York. Lincoln, no. Dulles, yeah, it basically sounds the same way. I'll take that one. It's not Reagan, though. Can't take Reagan Airport. Let's get rid of that. Ascorbic. Ascorbic is vitamin C, is it? I think. So it's not going to be the vinegar in this situation. Not Bush, not nitrogen, not malic. Acetic. Yeah, I'll take acetic for that one there, Colo. I think it's a variation on that particular spelling. And Powell. Not that. Hydrochloric ascorbic. It's not ascorbic or ascorbic. Henry Kissinger, acetic. Yeah, I'll take that one. And Kent, it's not that one. Okay. So we've only got 12 scoring on that one. 8 of them getting the 2 blanks correct. And then we've got 4 players getting 1 of those blanks correct. Yeah, didn't have any other explicit things to deal with, so that seems all good on my part. What was the what are you on about the IUPAC? Is it as in the IUPAC code for what is that even? Like, I've heard of the IATA code and things like that, but I've not heard of IUPAC, the IUPAC. What is the IUPAC? I've no idea. Never seen that term before myself. Naming rules and chem. Oh, right. Oh, completely off base entirely. Fair enough. Yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll completely blank on that then. That's why I haven't heard of it in the world of air traffic, because there's nothing to do with that. Yeah, very much. Let's continue on to statement number 4. Let's have a look at this one. Will it fit? I have no idea. Do you know what annoys me about the London Underground? It's got all that history with it being the highlight of the decade when it opened in the blanks. Decade year, that is, by the way. Yet everyone's blasting out all their modern music. I was reading my book, No Country for Old Men by blank, the other day, thinking, I'm being really put off country here because of you blasting out the 2023 album, Queen of Me by blank. Oh my god, it doesn't fit. 3 blanks to fill, 3 answers you can give. So yeah, that first blank, we are looking for a decade. Just putting that out there, though of course it kind of leads in with the statement of the decade when it opened in. Those of you thinking I'd probably get away with doing like a century. No, we are looking for a decade on that particular blank there. Let's go through some answers. So, 4 players have gone with Cormac McCarthy. Cormac McCarthy. Huh, okay. That is correct for blank B. Yes, No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy. I think you could just give the surname McCarthy and that would have been accepted as well. 5 players have gone for 1860 for the decade on A. That is also correct. Yes, the 1860s was when the London Underground was opened up. We've got some very close guesses. Not 1870, not 1890s, not 1890, not 1970, not 1870s, not 1960. It is none of those, but some very close, just literally one-off guesses there. 1880, 1800s, 1880s, 1850, 1980s, 1920s. Nope. 1950s, 1920, 1840s, 1950, 1850s, 1930s. Nope. Taylor Swift. I just want to check this blank C to make sure where we're going with that one. It's not that. 1910s Beyonce. It is not that. King of Leon. Not Kings of Leon either. Not Kings of Stone Age either. 1940s. No. Shania Twain, though, on blank C is correct. Yes, Queen of Me by Shania Twain, or just the surname Twain would have been accepted. Cormac McCarthy, yeah, I'll take that. Mean PG, I will take that for you. That's pretty much bang on. Nile Rodgers, no. Dolly Parton, no. The Coen Brothers, Sam Smith, Casey Musgraves, it is none of those. McCormack. McCormack. Oh. Now, Flyboy, you've mixed the two together. Cormac's the first name. McCarthy is the surname. The muck is on the surname. I don't know if I could take that. I think you've mixed them up too much. And normally in the rules of the game, we say we have to match on the surname if you're only giving one part of the name. And that's not the surname. That's so close, but I can't take it, I'm afraid. It's just, you've just mixed it too much. It's not 60s. Well, it is 60s, but unfortunately, we needed 18 in there as well. Otherwise, it could be, are you talking about the 2060s, the 1960s, the 1760s, the 1660s? Unfortunately, 60s a bit too broad, and the blank was 4 characters wide. That's another thing to be aware of, is the blank sizes do indicate the size of the answer in question as well. Not Roald Dahl and not Carrie Underwood, so I'm afraid last page I'm marking as wrong. It's very, very close, that McCormack, though. Very close. 9 players scoring, just Zeus getting the full 3 blanks for the full 600 points. Tutanoni getting 400, Avi, me, Flyboy, Colo, Mark, MePG and Ralph getting 200 points apiece. Okay, we're halfway through the round and we continue on to statement number 5. There will be 2 blanks in this to fill, and I'm probably going to be reading from Twitch chat again because it looks like another long one. So not liking the observational stuff, I suppose. You're a tough crowd tonight. Let's try this. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side, of course. Just as well the chicken wasn't in the city of blank, because that's where the widest avenue in the world is. The July 9 Avenue, or July 9th Avenue. Hopefully it avoided all the cars. It would be a shame if the chicken was hit by a blank, the car brand with the slogan, the power of dreams. 2 blanks to fill. 2 answers you can give. Try another answer, Coldbridge. Well, there is time. I don't know if the other answer came through in time, Coldbridge. We do have a 2-second grace after the time message is sent in Twitch chat. But after that, it will disregard any future messages. So I don't know if that last one came in time. Let's go through some answers. Honda. The power of dreams is indeed blank B, Honda. Nicely done. Right, we've got Rio, Nissan, Beijing, Daewoo, San Francisco, and Kentucky. Do any of these match the answer that I am looking for here? I'm afraid they do not. Tesla, St. Petersburg, Porsche, Buenos Aires. I think you're going for Buenos Aires there, Ralph. Isuzu, and Los Angeles. Now, let me come back to you, Ralph. Buenos Aires, which, yeah, I know that's what you're going for because the letters are sort of the wrong way round, but they are the right letters from what I can see. It is correct for blank A. Yes, Buenos Aires is indeed blank A. So I'll give you that one, Ralph. Everybody else, though, unfortunately, that is a wrong answer. Buick, Trade, Subaru, Wellington, Mitsubishi, Washington. Nope. Audi, Sao Paulo, Mazda, Hyundai. Hyundai? Interesting, because you've basically got Honda, but you're also halfway going to Hyundai. I will give you that. I think you've just typoed an extra letter on the end. I'll give you that for Honda. But it is tending towards Hyundai a little bit there. It's not Skoda, not Tokyo. But yeah, we'll give Hyundai. That's close enough for me. Dodge, Kalamazoo, Argentina, Toyota, Copenhagen? Nope. And Buenos Aires only got the spelling good enough for the correction to take it. Yeah, Buenos Aires is correct. Not many scoring at all, just 7 players scoring. Oni and Ralph getting the 400, Mark, Nata, Pozodan, Vixen and Zeus getting one of the blanks for 200 points there. Ooh, tough statement, that one there. Very tough statement. Okay. Well, we'll continue on and see how well you do with number 6 of 8 in this round. South America really likes naming the roads after dates. Apparently so. page number 6, statement number 6. Let's have a look at this. This was a bit shorter, but there are 3 blanks. Is this mic even working? Do you want some political satire? Oh, God, here we go. That David Cameron, former MP for blank, he's a wrong un, isn't he? I bet he can't even count up to blank, the number of MPs in the House of Commons. He's not even there anymore, which means he could just lounge back on the blank-coloured benches in the House of Lords and say whatever he wants about foreign affairs, I suppose. 3 blanks to fill, 3 answers you can give. As we get Jack Wilfred joining the game on a political question. I don't know if you can answer this question. Oh, you can answer this question, Jack. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it allowed you immediately to answer or whether you had to wait out a question or not. But it looks like you were able to give some answers there. So there you go. That's an opportunistic joining of the game. Politics in it. Let's see if you could get all 3 in that time there, Jack. So we've got Whitney, not Houston, and also not an H in there, but Whitney is correct for blank A. Yes, David Cameron, former MP for Whitney. 22 players have gone for red, presumably for blank B. Or blank C even, should I say. I can't even read my own stuff. Yes, red coloured benches is blank C. They're not blue, no. Not Eton, not Sidcup, not Chipping Norton, not Sutton, not Tan. I can't take any of those. London, no. It's a bit broad. Sussex, Knightsbridge, 10. Count to 10. I mean, that would be fun, but we're actually looking for a number rather than it spelled out. Skegness would be... Skegness for David Cameron would be very interesting. And green. No, green is the other set of benches, I'm afraid. We're looking for red for the House of Lords instead. England, Rochdale, London, Cambridge. Nope, can't take any of those. 650. That is the magic number we're looking for, is 650. So pay attention during the election broadcast. That is your magic number for the grand total. Obviously, not the magic number to make a majority in the House, but is the total number available. It's not 200, not 652, so close. Not 663, not 420, not 10, not 680. So can't take any of those. 670, 12, 433, black, UK 201, 309, 288, 26, 209, and 236. None of those I can take. Is it going to go down a smidge again? Are they doing some more shifting of borders and things? Hope it's not going to be gerrymandering too much. Well, Jack, you did get all 3 right. 600 points to you, and to Colo, and to Toot, and to Ralph. We've got 400 for Mark and Mr. Vertigo, Oni, Topper, and Zeus, and a smattering of 200s there for people presumably getting the red benches on that particular statement. It sort of turned into number wang at the end there, didn't Lingo? Okay, 2 more statements in this round, in this chapter. Let's continue on. Another fairly large statement. 3 blanks to fill on this one. Nothing again. Is surreal humour more your thing? Well, I was talking to the Belgian artist Blank the other day, and I said to him, congratulations on your painting Time Transfixed. I really loved the blank emerging from the fireplace. Sadly, he didn't understand me because I was speaking English and not one of the national languages of Belgium, even though I had blank to choose from. How silly. 3 blanks to fill, 3 answers you can give. All right, I'll see you later then, Jack. We'll probably see that answer come up on the pages, but yeah, we'll see you next week, Jack. Let's go through some answers. René Magritte. Is this the name of the artist? Yes, René Magritte, or just the surname Magritte would have been accepted. 5 players have gone for train. That is correct for blank B. Yes, really love the train emerging from the fireplace. And then 15 players going for 3. is indeed correct for blank C. Yes, 3 languages to choose from, the national languages of Belgium. I actually don't have that information to hand on here. That would have been cool to have, but I don't have that. Presumably, there's going to be English, French, and German in there. I guess it's three languages that they would have in Belgium. Anyway. The other answers have got 4 pipe, Dali hands, Frida Kahlo. Oh, there we go. That's the first Frida Kahlo of the season. And Stick. It's none of those. French, Dutch, and German. My bad. Vincent van Gogh. Not a politics question. Dutch, several. Oh, no, can't take that, Bruce. We were looking for a specific number, I'm afraid. We can't take several, although that might be somewhat equivalent to 3. Flemish and 8, can't take those. Clocks, Mondrian, Gustav Klimt, Dali, Ghost, Starry Night, none of those. Clock, 8-7, Skull, 5, Heg. Nope. Fire out of the fire. I really love the fire emerging from the fireplace. I mean, that makes too much sense. Horse, Dragon, 12, Wilhelm Klee. No. French, Demon, 7, and Flanders. None of those. Hergé. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. That makes more sense, Shapes. Thank you. So 17 scoring some points. Shapes and Zeus doing the best, getting the full 600 points. A few 400s and a couple of 200s on the board as well. We've got one more statement in this round. Hopefully everything's been going okay with the marking. I've been all okay with how I'm doing things. I feel like it's all been going quite nicely. Though, of course, I think it's been good with the statements that they've been narrowing down to one specific answer each time, and rather than it being open to interpretation. Last question, last statements. Let's have a look at this. You've been a good crowd. I'll leave you with this. CD, as you all know, stands for blank disc, and I collect CDs. I bought one the other day, the soundtrack of the musical Blank, but the audio on it was faulty. It meant I couldn't hear the people sing. 2 blanks to fill, 2 answers to give. I mean, Severa, that's the whole point of this game, is that you should only be able to you should only need the context within the statements to figure out the answer. It basically, they are written as questions, just in a different kind of format. The whole theming of the actual statements has it's nice to have that extra bit of playfulness in the literature, but ultimately has 0 power into how the answers should come about. It should be solely dependent on the statements themselves and no extra knowledge outside of that. CD stands for 400. Gotta know your Roman numerals. Well, let's find out what we all think. Compact. Yes, it is a compact disc. Yes. Now, here we go. Here's where... Do I want to be pedantic and say that the C does not stand for... Well, it doesn't stand for compact disc. No, I'll take it. I'll take that. It's fine. You're just completing the phrase rather than filling in the blank. Something that a cappella, performance and a cappella. I can't take those, I'm afraid. Les Miserables. The Miserables. Do you hear the people sing the songs of angry men? Very much. Les Dennis, sure. Les Miserables, sure. My Fair Lady, In-Betweeners. Now, that would be interesting for In-Betweeners to do that song. Sound of Music and West Side Story, no. Avenue Q, again, would be very interesting. And Alexander Hamilton, it is not that either. Lots of points going out there. Lots and lots of points. Total of 15 getting 400 points and 13 getting 200 points apiece for that final statement. So at the end of chapter number 1, let's have a look at the leaderboard and see where everybody stands. Or sits, or is stuck to the board, let's say. In the lead, we've got is Zeus on 3,200. Then we've got Toot and Ralph on 3,000. And then we've got Colo and Mark and Oni on 2,600. So very, very tight at the top. Lots of ties. but still plenty of opportunity to catch up if you have joined in late. Because now, from round 2 onwards, we award points based on how quickly you provide your answer. The faster your answer is, as long as it's a correct answer, then the more points that you will earn. And as we go further and further into the game, the more those points will be worth. So just bear that in mind, that quicker answers will now score more, but don't go too early, because then you might miss some critical information that will make you second guess your answer later down the lines. So chapter number 2, let's have a look at that. Get rid of that. So chapter number 2 is Piece Together. In this round, you're going to be seeing a sheet of paper with 6 keywords on, but unfortunately, we've put that piece of paper in a shredder, and then all the slices have been put in the wrong order. Over time, those pieces of paper will find their way into the correct order, so that you can then see what those 6 keywords are. Your objective is to figure out what connects or joins all of those 6 keywords together. It's sort of only connect, except we can't use that branding. So yeah, you're looking for the common connection, the common bond, as it were, across 6 keywords or key phrases, and the faster you do so, the more points that you will get. Over on here, we've got an example page, and if I were to solve all the slices like that, you will see the names of 6 game shows here at Quiz Night: Redacted, Snap It Up, Outright, Relativity, Who Knows Where, and Wiki Walker. In fact, they are originals here at Quiz Night, these are. That would be the common connection. In this round, you can give 2 answers per document. So you can go for a nice early answer, go for a bit of a broad guess, and then later on, if you're thinking maybe the broad guess isn't so good, I might want to clarify my answer a bit, then you can give a second answer later down the lines with hopefully a bit more context.
Greetings all.
Thank you very much for the 2-year resub. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. I said 5 game shows and then heard static at the end. It still exists. I don't care what you people think about Wiki Walker. It does exist. You can't go erasing it. Though Relativity kind of filled that gap, didn't it? So yes, you can give me up to 2 guesses on each of the shredded documents. Just don't go wasting a guess, please. If you get it really early on, I know you have a second guess in hand. Just don't waste the guess, because ultimately, I'll still have to go and mark it, and the fewer guesses I have to go through, the faster we can get through this. We can get through to better content. So just bear that in mind. If we're all ready, let's start with the first shredded document. And what connects all of these shredded keywords? That's what you need to do. 2 guesses you can give me, and time starts now. I think some people possibly using the bot to use an affirmation of what answer they've already provided. So we've got Woody, Captain Richard Phillips, Forrest Gump, Jim Lovell, Andrew Beckett, and Chesley Sullenberger. Those there are the 6 key phrases, but what connects all of those key phrases? Let's have a look at what you've guessed. We've got Tom Hanks film roles, and I'm so certain that none of you said exactly that. You probably said Tom Hanks or just Hanks. But either way, we've upgraded you to the prime answer of Tom Hanks film roles, very much so. Tom Hanks characters, yeah, I'll take that. Tom Hanks films, yeah, I'll take that. Moon astronauts, that's not the case for all of them. Not astronauts, not war films, not authors. So not the other 4, but I'll take Tom Hanks. Basically, if you said Tom Hanks in your answer, that is good enough for me. But if you said just film roles, that wouldn't have been accepted, because we needed the more information of Tom Hanks specifically. Roles played by Tom Hanks, yes. Zemeckis movies, I don't think they all are. I don't think they all are. I'm not going to go searching them all right now. Pixar, pilots, Forrest Gump, comedians. I can't take any of those, I'm afraid. Ron Howard from Apollo 13, so that breaks that one. Movie characters, so that there, Flyboy. Unfortunately, I can't take movie characters. That's a bit too broad. You did need to say Tom Hanks. Lots of players, though, scoring some points. We've got a total of 21 scoring, with Proogs, Topper, Shapes, and Zeus getting the right answer before I even started the timer. Very well done, getting the full 1,000 points on offer. Then we've got Clive on the top row getting 979 points, and you can see all the other points being awarded. So, yeah. Very well done on those very quick early guesses before I even started the timer. And that is how this game is played. Okay. Let's go to shredded document number 2. Let's figure out what this is all about. What connects... There's not many letters up there, but what connects those? Time starts now. Oh, one of the characters didn't render properly. This is where I have to potentially butcher some pronunciations, but we'll get there in a moment. So we've got... Oh, that one of the top left was unfortunately placed. Dieth, T, Dechem, Zain, Dis, and Jeshenj, or something like that. Jeshenj, I think, is that last one. Something like that. It's Polish, is what it is at the bottom there. Unfortunately, this font didn't have the See Acute character. Let's have a look to see what you guessed. 10 in different languages. I'm pretty certain no one said exactly that, but you probably said the word 10 or the number 10. Either way, you're absolutely right. Yes, these are all the number 10. Specifically in Spanish, Norwegian, Latin, German, French, and Polish going down the page. So not all French numbers, but they are words meaning 10. They're not 12. The last one is Polish, but not all of them. Not 2. Not... Ooh. Pyro. I know what you've done. R is right next to E. I know what you've done. And because I can work that one out, I'll be generous and give you that one, because I think you're going for 10 and typed it really fast, but you just typoed the E. So I will give you that one. Everybody else, nope. 10 in different languages, yes. Words for 10, yes. 10 in alt... alt numbers. Well, they're not numbers, though, Natter. These are words for 10. So you could say alt words and alt languages, but you said 10. That is what we're looking for. You did get 10, so I'll give you 10. Numbers, they are numbers, but we needed, I think, specifically 10, I'm afraid. And again, foreign numbers, you're closer, but we were looking for 10. That was the key number here, so I'm not taking those. That's a bit too broad. Foreign numbers 10, that is enough. That I can correct. French scientists, no. So we've got a total of 18 players scoring there, with Mark and Zeus getting the biggest there, 957 points, so both answering on the same frame. Toots 950, Pyro 913, Lingo 902, and various other scores being awarded there as well. You had languages with 12. I can see why you might have done that with the keypad, possibly. Oh well. All right, we'll continue on to the third of these shredded documents. And tell me what connects these shredded keywords. I don't know. Let's start the timer. I think the one on the top has had an unfortunate positioning, because it looks like it's going off the sheet, but that's what you get with these bad photocopiers. So we've got, I think, Stelling, Robinson, Hewer, Lynham, Murray, and Whiteley. Those are the 6 keywords that we have up here, but what connects them all up? Let's see what you've gone for. Countdown hosts. or countdown presenters, or just the word countdown, any of those would have been accepted. So other guesses: Australian rivers, Simon and Garfunkel Islands, newsreaders, Yorkshire, and tennis players. I mean, it's Yorkshire TV, I suppose, for countdown, but that's a bit tenuous, I'm afraid. I can't take that for you, proofs. Rivers, Crusoe, sidekicks, quiz show hosts. Again, unfortunately, a bit too broad there, Vixen. You've gotten close, but we needed the word countdown in there to get the full points. First name's Andy Murray. But I don't think any of the others are really Andy, because that's supposed to be Anne Robinson, I think, for the particular host. So can't take any of those there. Main presenters of the Channel 4 game show. I'm going to presume you did say countdown at the end there. Thank you for being incredibly explicit in your answer. They're not all Anns and they're not all Andrews. So, 15 of you scoring. Yorkshire was an early guess based on Whitby. Rather than Whiteley. Fair enough. That makes sense. 15 scoring some points, though. Amy doing the best, 965. Shape Sliding, 52. Toot, 931. Jack, 917. And Topper, 846. He's the current host, Vixen. Colin Murray is the current host. He did it a sort of a momentary spot to sort of temporary host for a bit, and then has now taken up the mantle doing it full time as of now. Okay, moving on to shredded document number 4. Let's continue on, and again, tell me what connects these shredded keywords. Type us down. Absolutely, Lingo. If you do have meme answers, by all means, do them in public chat. It means I don't have to deal with them. I'll read public chat every now and then and chime in a bit. But yeah, if you've got meme answers, absolutely share them in public chat. I've got no problem with you doing that. It's just that when it's on screen and I'm having to do like serious marking where people are actually getting serious points, it's kind of like, you know, it kind of ruins it a bit for me. Because I'm trying to do serious stuff and then suddenly have to deal with humour all of a sudden, which is not my kind of humour sometimes. Let's have a look at some answers. Now, I need to look at my marking sheet. We've got root, vegetables, root veggies, veggies, root veg, and vegetables you can roast. So based on what I can see in front of me on the mark answer list, everything on this sheet is acceptable, because the prime correct answer is root vegetables. Also accept vegetables or vegetable. So if you said just vegetables or if you said root, you're good. That's basically it. So based on that, underground veg, I suppose, is yes. Root veg is underground veg. Types of vegetables, good enough for me. And root vegetables, everybody's getting points. Literally every answer I marked got points there. That's what I love to see. Not a single non. Not a single non. Everybody gets points. I thought it was more complex than that. Nope. Sometimes they are incredibly simple. Sometimes they are. It's just, yeah, sometimes they aren't. But yeah, we got a green board, a blue board, I suppose. Everybody got a blue stamp. So that's what we love to see. 27 players scoring, only doing the best, 974. Topper 966. Mark 952, Zeus 937, and Clive 934 on the top row there. Oh, thank you for the nons. Well, I suspect we might be getting some nons on the next sheet. I will say that we might get some nons on the next sheet. So just be careful, is all I'll say. Be careful on sheet number 5. We got points. If you're ready, let's have a look at number 5. And tell me what connects these shredded keywords. Slightly specific, I will say. Slightly specific. So we've got Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Queensborough, Hellgate, Manhattan, and Madison Avenue. Okay, I have seen some answers come through that are correct, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to posit that a lot of you are going to be very irritated by one of my judgment rulings here. But I have here a specific disallow answer, and I think that might hit quite a few people. New York City. Okay, we are talking about New York, but that's too broad for the answer, I'm afraid. New York streets, I'm afraid, is also too broad for me on this one.
Joke's on you, I'm already irritated equals P.
Thank you for the 100 bits there, JB. Just relax with some Balatro, unless that's the thing that's actually stressing you out, because I see you all there. See you all in Discord, all of you live playing Balatro while playing along. Well, Tyson's not actually playing Balatro right now, playing something else, but everybody else is playing Balatro. Let me continue on. Monopoly USA. I mean, that's not the connection I'm going for. And I don't think I will take it. Because they might be. But if you're going for Monopoly as a clue, I probably would say you have to be Monopoly New York rather than just Monopoly USA. That seems too broad. Advertising, no. US Monopoly spaces, think the same way as Zeus. Places in New York. So I have a disallow answer of boroughs. You can't say just boroughs or areas of New York. That is not going to be good enough as an answer, I'm afraid. There is one thing we are looking for, a key word in this, as well as New York. Or America. There's a keyword in America or a keyword in New York that will get points. None of these, I'm afraid, will match that. New York boroughs, as I say, I can't take boroughs. That's not the keyword we're looking for. Not NYC, not New York, not New York. Avenues, we had roads earlier. Areas of New York, can't take cocktails. Well, they might all have cocktails. Certainly Manhattan does, but that's not the connection I'm looking for here. New York neighborhoods, again, I can't take that. Not New York streets, not New York locations. Toot's the one I'm going to have most problem with right now, because that's not the keyword I'm looking for, but they kind of are. Monopoly properties, New York boroughs, no. So the reason I have problem with Toot's answer, because it is very close. The keyword I'm looking for is bridges in New York or American bridges. I could posit that a bridge is a landmark. I can make that logical leap, and you've said New York. Is that good enough to get the mark? I don't know. It's very close. It's very, very close, but I don't know if it's close enough. I think we need bridges rather than just landmarks. As landmarks, you could say like the Flatiron is technically a landmark of New York, and that's not a bridge. So, decided not to allow just New York. That's fine. I followed that ruling, but landmarks as a word here, it's closer, and I don't know. You did say bridges later too. That's fine then. You will get some points. In which case, I'm happier to say don't take landmarks because you do have a backup answer. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to say no to landmarks in this case. Boroughs, no. Boroughs, no. City areas, the boroughs, no. Boroughs, no. Boroughs, no. Routes. A bridge is sort of a route, but I've marked roads and streets like that off as wrong, so I'm saying no to that. I have to try and be consistent. American places, New York districts, New York paths, names of David Beckham's kids. I don't know if they're all parks like that, Flyboy, so I'm going to say no to that as well. And hopefully we do have 6 that gave me the right answer. We've got Toot and Mark, Shapes, Lingo, Cacao, and Mr. Vertigo, who went with bridges in New York is the magic we're looking for there. They are all bridges in New York. Bridges is the key. Yeah, bridges on its own would have been accepted. We did have American bridges and NY bridges. There's just landmarks. It's because they are, bridges can be a bit of a statement piece, then they can be sort of, landmarks is close. This is where again, I don't have this ability, but on the show, for example, Only Connect, if they did offer an answer of landmarks in New York City, they'd probably say, have another go. I don't have that ability to say have another go in this, unfortunately. The only way around that is you give me a second answer during the answering phase. That's the only thing that I can do. But I can't explicitly say have another go immediately so. So, if I had that ability, cool. Like, if I could reverse time, if I had time travel, then this game would be so much easier to mark. But I don't have time travel, unfortunately. We just have to live with the ever present. Gotta play it as it lies, absolutely. And in this case, Toots did have a backup answer and got the most points. In fact, and might have been the first answer they provided instead. Either way, that's how it all goes, and points have been doled out. So it's those kind of questions that really worry me in Redacted. It's like, how do I accept this? This round is kind of the worst to do it in because the connections can be really weird. So yeah, it's just, I think it's a problem of the round, not necessarily a problem of the game as a whole. That's a thing. Anyway, we've got one more sheet of paper to deal with here, and then we'll see the leaderboard update. So hopefully we can get through sheet number 6 without too much problem. Here it comes. And what connects these shredded keywords together? Let's start that timer. Are you all over on the left-hand side of the page? That's a bit weird. And again, bit strange positioning in the beginning of that first one. I think it's supposed to say Lethal Bizzle, then Dave, then H, then Bugsy Malone, Plan B, and AJ Tracy. So yeah, again, the photocopy has been a bit unkind on that first one. It's sort of chopped off the first capital L, but that's how it goes, I'm afraid. It's just a bit of a crap photocopier. Let's have a look, see what you've guessed. British rappers, or English rappers, or grime artists, or hip-hop, or rap artists, or hip-hop artists, or UK rappers. Any of those will be accepted. So we've been quite broad on that particular genre, but I can't just say music acts. That is an explicit disallow, is music acts. Musical films, no. Mercury Prize winners, I don't believe so. Woods, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Love Island hosts, and Birth Control, I don't believe so. Love Island winners, garage grime acts, grime, yes, I can take that one, Jack. UK number one artists, I don't know. Don't believe so. Novelists, bands, no. Gangsters, no. I know where you're going with that, with Malone, I think. TV channels, rap music. He said rap, so that's also allowed. Rapper, that's allowed. Dick Tracy characters, Brit Award, best artists. I don't think so. We did not have British as on the list of potential accepted answers only. But there you go. But all those others are all sorted. Fantastic. So, total of 12 players scoring there. Jake doing the best, 941. Then Shapes 928. Only 857, Toots 832, and Zeus 819. And you see all the other points being awarded. So, at the end of chapter number 2, and it's 9:10. Goodness me, this game does go on for a long time, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the leaderboard. And there's a change in lead at the top by quite a considerable margin. Goodness me. Toot in the lead on 8,335, ahead by a clear 1,000 ahead of Zeus on 7,308. Then we've got Oni on 6,827, Mark on 6,783, Ralph on 6,352, and rounding out the top 6, Shapes on 6,173. So, yeah, Toot's got a whole 1,000 point lead and a little bit of extra change on top of that. And there are 2 more rounds in the main game to see if you can try and catch up those points. So, let's move on to chapter number 3. Let's keep on moving. Chapter number 3 is identify the redacted. So what you're going to see this time is an image of a place, person, or thing. We will tell you what kind of answer we are looking for ahead of time as well. And the image has been hidden away by lots of black bars. Over time, those black bars will be removed from the image so that you can actually see the image behind it. And we will give you a bit of a text clue as well that contains the correct answer for you to provide. Try and answer as soon as you can, because again, you get more points the earlier you answer, and you can give me up to 2 guesses on each image in this chapter as well. Again, try and answer privately to QuizBot 3000, please. And over there is an example of the redacted logo being redacted itself. Haha, how very meta indeed. So let's start off with image number 1, and in this case, we are looking for the name of a flower, please. A name of a flower. You don't have to go fancy scientific name, just the regular common name will be fine. The blank is the national flower of Wales. There's your hint. No worries, thank you very much for tuning in, Sophia and Cat Cow. Appreciate you dropping in. And yeah, I'm going to have to seriously consider what's going on with whispers and the like, because that's clearly a bit of a problem going forward now that there's an enforced requirement for phone authentication. But yeah, it's nothing to do with me, I'm afraid. Happy St. David's Day. Let's have a look at some answers. 19 have gone for the daffodil, which is indeed the correct answer. We're looking here at a lovely daffodil. I'll take that spelling, and I'll take that spelling, but I can't take tulip, rose, lotus, or dandelion. Narcissus, lily, iris, thistle, hornflower, and buttercup. I'm just going to check the other potential names of a daffodil, because why not? Want to make certain. And it's a good thing I did, because Narcissus is a genus of predominantly spring-flowering perennial plants, but the problem is that is a genus that includes daffodil, is not daffodil itself. And I'm seeing an image of a narcissus that does not look the same as that. They do look quite different. So I'm not going to take narcissus itself, because that is the genus that contains daffodil, but is not daffodil itself. And the others are wrong. Okay. And you said daffodil too, so you get some points anyway. 21 of you are getting points. Congratulations. Zeus doing the best, 977. Then Clive, 957. Nata, 954. Mark, 938. And Mr. Vertigo, 935 on the top row. Very well done. I don't have any disallows to work on this round at all. Okay, next image. Have a look at this one. And we are looking for the name of a celebrity for this particular one. A name of a celebrity, please. And your time starts now. I mean, I love that guess, Clive. The creator and writer of the anthology series Black Mirror, Blank, also wrote and presented 5 series of Screenwipe. Going to be such a lovely guess to see from Clive in a moment. That there is time. What's his name? What's his name? Look at that is the question. We are asking for the name here. He thought the art was hair. I mean, sometimes it can present itself as such, but no, not in this case. Let's go through some answers. So we've got Brooker. I think in this case, again, following the standard rules we have here, that we can accept just surname only. Yes, Brooker is fine for Charlie Brooker is the full name. Charlie Brooker. Elton John, no. Lady Gaga was the early guess from Clive. Unfortunately, not Lady Gaga. Rosie Jones, Chris Evans, and Shonda Rhimes. It's none of those. Yeah, we're looking for Charlie Brooker, please. Charlie something. Yes. Unfortunately, we did need the something. I can't take the first name on its own. Charlton Brooker. Does he go by Charlton? I think I've heard that before, but I just want to make absolutely certain that he does go by that as his official name. Yeah, that is his full name, so I'll take Charlton Brooker. That's like the technical correct there. It's not M. Night Shyamalan. No, not that at all. But it is Charlie Brooker, yes. There you go. 16 of you going the right way, with Oni and Zeus getting 737 points apiece, Clive 730 with Topper, and Ralph getting 728 points. Ashton Ash the Bash. I suppose, yeah, Ashley is my official name, but more often than not go by Ash because yeah, I don't know. Ash feels better to me than Ashley does. It just seems a bit too formal. Hi, Lee! That was a different thing, wasn't it? Ashley, not spelled like that though, Jake. L-E-Y, not L-E-I-G-H. That's a common misspelling of my name. I'm an L-E-Y, not an L-E-I-G-H. I just write it larger. I suppose I can do. Though my surname is long enough as it is. That just takes up a lot of space, and most people don't get that right when I say it the first time round. Let's go to the third shredded document, and we are looking for the name of a sport, please. We're looking for a name of a sport. And your time starts now. Oh, that's very interesting, what it left on its own there. That was enough information to work out the sport, I think. Or between two, maybe. India won 3 gold medals in blank at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. I think the image, the thing it left in that image was just enough to narrow it to one of 2 sports. Possibly just one. I'm trying to remember if they do both sports or not. We'll talk about it in a moment. So that's time. Let's have a look to see what you've gone for. 17 going for badminton. Is correct. Yes, Yonex there, the thing that was left on its own that you can actually see. Yeah, quite a well-known brand in the sphere of badminton. And I think table tennis as well, I'm not entirely sure. But certainly for badminton, I've seen the name Yonex before, so that gives you a big in, potentially. And yeah, 10 players going with table tennis as presumably an early guess. That would be a fair guess. Certainly with the colour of table, that might have been a thing. But yeah, it's badminton we're looking for here and nothing else. Badminton. Yeah, I'll give you that, puzzle down. Ping pong, no. Balatro. It's not Balatro. And it's not tennis. It's a distinct sport. Volleyball, badminton doubles. Oh, Topper. Super specific answer. I'll take it. It's not squash. It's not pickleball. Not bocce. It's not tech ball. Not volleyball. But it is technically badminton doubles. Is the technical correct answer. So really, only Topper's got it right. But we're looking for the broad sport rather than the specific medal we're talking about there. Anyway, 18 go the right way. Nicely done. AB Me with 997. Shapes 978. Lingo 841 as well as Oni. Carlo getting 840 points there. Demand a bonus 1000 specificity. You can have a unaffected 1000 doots outside the game. There you go. It doesn't mean you get 1000 in the game, but you get yourself a 3000 doots because why not? It's season 14 only. I get to do what I want. Spot prize fever, very much so. I need to get that feeling from Wipeout again. Okay, moving on to image number 4. And we are looking for... No, you can't have another 5,000. We're looking for the name of the artist of this particularly, please. The name of the artist. Your time starts now. Contrary to what her name suggests, Blank was actually born in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, don't you know? Contrary to what her name suggests, Blank was actually born in Wisconsin. How do you guess, Scooter? You need to join the game first. So enter in the room code of KOIW in public chat. And then once you've done that, you'll be entered into the game. After that, whisper answers to Quizbot 3000. And that's how you get your answers in on the game. Welcome to the game and to Dev as well. Hello there. So let's go through some answers. We've got O'Keefe, Rothko, Pollock, Darley, Rorschach and Van Gogh making a second appearance this evening. Is it O'Keefe we're looking for here? Let me have a look. Yeah, I think I can take that. It is Georgia O'Keeffe we're looking for, or just O'Keeffe as the surname, technically with the apostrophe in, but I know where you're going with it, that one. Everybody else, unfortunately, no. Frida Kahlo, second appearance in season 14. Britain, Darley making a second appearance. Tennessee Williams, Virginia Woolf from Washington making a third appearance, I think, for Washington now. None of those. Georgia O'Keeffe, I'll take. German, Virginia, Kentucky. Oh, you said Georgia. Georgia's the first name, but the link in the statement is talking about the Georgia. I think the rules, by following the rules, you need to give the surname, which is O'Keeffe. Georgia on its own, unfortunately, is not going to be it. So I can't take that. And I've seen you've given me both answers there, Georgia and Kentucky. So I'm afraid I'm going to say no. Georgia O'Keeffe is correct for those final three. Only 7 players scoring, with Mark 971, Jack 896, MePG 868, Shape 680, Zeus 574, and Lingo and Toot just getting an answer in before the grace window closes. Okay, we've got 2 more in this round to consider. Let's move on to image number 5. And we're looking for the name of a film, please. Name of a film. This is a still of. Time starts now. You don't need to shout your answers, Jack. Peter Finch won a posthumous Best Actor Oscar portraying Howard Beale in the film blank. Last few seconds, get an answer in. Regrets were made, Poseidon, eh? Well, we'll have a look, shall we? 7 players have gone with Psycho. Now, normally when you see this kind of page, it's a headline answer, thinking, oh, that's going to be the right answer then, isn't it? Headline answer and everything. Not in this case, no, it's not. 9 players, though, have gone for Network. And that is correct. This is from Network we're looking for. We've got Mrs. Doubtfire as a guess, Home Alone. I mean, those 2 interesting guesses, but unfortunately not the case. Mad as Hell, certainly, which would apply in regards to those films, but no, we're looking for Network. Godfather, Misery, Shawshank Redemption, Carry On Camping, none of those. 3 Billboards, Wall Street, Trainspotting, News, and Fahrenheit 451. It is none of those, I'm afraid. 9 players going the right way, with Mark doing the best, 977, then Toot 945, Jack 931, Shapes 696, and only 652. We've got 1 more image then. Let's go over to that right now, and we are looking for the name of a singer, please. The name of a singer. Your time starts now. You don't need to shout your answers, Jack. Use your Only Connect voice. Love to Love You Baby and Hot Stuff were 70 singles released by the Queen of Disco, blank. Shouting an answer again. Anyway. Last few seconds, get an answer in. And that there is time. You always answer in all caps. But then you'll type in perfectly capitalised English here. Let's have a look at some answers. We've got Tina Turner, Bruno Mars, Aretha Franklin, Shirley Bassey, Lil Richard, and Michael Jackson. It is none of these answers. Prince, Janet Jackson, Houston, Shaka Khan, Richie and Janet Jackson. It is none of those. Ross, Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick, Belinda Carlisle, Whitney Houston, and Mama Cass. It is none of those. Hopefully the final page. Yes, the final page. Donna Summer we're looking for there. That 11 got right. Yes, Donna Summer we're looking for. Mark do the best, 729, then Jake 728, Clive 724, Only 716, and Shapes 712. That brings us to a close on Chapter 3. Let's go back to the leaderboard as Toot maintained the lead. Yes, they have, and extending the lead to 12,740, clear from Mark on 11,127, cleared by like 1,600 at the moment. Then it shapes in third place, 10,878. Zeus in fourth place, 10,788. Bit of an anagram of Shapes' score. Oni in fifth place, 10,697, and Jack in sixth place, 9,048. Right, we've got one final round in the main game, and this is where all the points are available. We get lots of points on offer, but with that, you only have one guess to make each time round. So you've got to make your guess count. This is chapter number 4. We will give you a long question and hide away a lot of the words initially, and over time we will reveal parts of the question beneath. You need to answer the question in its entirety. We can only give one answer in this round, but you get more points the earlier that you do answer. You can get, I think, up to 2,000 points if you can answer really, really early on, all the way down to 500 as a minimum. So there are loads of points on offer if you dare to answer early, but when you do answer early, you're answering with less context in the question, so you may be making a bit of a punt. Answer the question, not the blank. Exactly, not a count. You're answering the question behind all the blanks, not the blanks themselves. The order is random, Silent Marine, so it might give away the question really early on. It might hold that information until really, really late on. It is entirely down to the RNG as to how it reveals these blanks, so bear that in mind. Keep an eye in Twitch chat because it will tell you what each blank is as they do get revealed, and of course stream will update itself as that happens. Remember, only one attempt for each of these questions. Good luck. Here comes your first question to answer. Also the blank of blank 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 in a blank blank blank. What is the name of blank in the blank 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 blank? And your time starts now. We're looking for film on blank K, ITV on blank F, recent on blank E, Alfred Hitchcock on blank J, got Psycho on blank L, The Motel on blank H, Toby, blank B, Joneses on blank C, surname on blank A, drama series on blank G, character on blank D, one final blank to go through on I, and that is 1960. Also the surname of Toby Jones's character in the recent ITV drama series. What is the name of the motel in the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film Psycho? And that's time. Did you give too much info, says Mark? Well, we will find out as I reveal some answers and mark them. I don't have any disallows to worry about here, but we'll see what the answers are. We've got Trigger Point, Whitmore and Smith on page 1. There's only a second page, so I think everybody else is getting lumped into a second answer. It is none of these answers on this page, though. Page 2 says Bates. Absolutely fine, yes. We've got the Bates Motel and the series being Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. So, yes, the common link for all this question is the surname Bates. So we've got 21 scoring players there. Mark doing the best, 1,456 points there. Then Jack 1418 with Lingo, Ralph with 1396, and Toot with 1368. You saw a recent ITV and took a leap. Absolutely fair cop to do that, Mr. Gator. Unfortunately, didn't work out for you going with Trigger Point instead. That's what you got to do in this game is weigh up whether you want to risk going early with an early punt or wait until you get more information and get a more certain score. Yes, the Post Office one, indeed, Vixen. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Try and answer the following. Only one answer to provide, remember. According to blank of a blank blank, which blank blank blank, a blank in the blank blank of blank blank to blank blank. Let's start that timer. First reveal is blank M, die. Then blank E, musician. Then we've got blank D, country. Blank J, Nevada. Blank C, song. Blank A, the lyrics. Blank G, man. The G man. Blank L, watch him. Blank I, state. Blank K, just. Blank B, 1950s. Blank F, shot. And finally blank H, US. According to the lyrics of a 1950s song, which country musician shot a man in the US state of Nevada just to watch him die? And that's time. Let's go through some answers. We've got Elvis, American Pie, Shania Twain, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, and John Hamburger. Johnny Cash isn't quite spelled correctly, but looking at my answers, I can take that as a correct answer. Yes, it is indeed Johnny Cash, or just Cash. The surname would have been accepted. Not Elvis. Yeah, none of the answers else there, but Johnny Cash I can take as a typo answer. Cyrus, as in nope. Sheriff, Jarvis Cocker, George Jones. I see where you might have gone with country musician to Cyrus. That's fair enough, but not that one. Johnny Cash is correct. 12 players going the right way, with a total of 13 scoring points, with Shapes doing the best, 15-15, then Mark 15-05, Scooter 12-65, MePG 12-57, and Silver Electron 11-54. You got to be careful when you're typing too quick, because sometimes it might bite you instead. Just be careful. Obviously, you're trying to get as many points as possible, but sometimes the typos can drift you too far away from the correct answer. And yes, you got the first name right, Jack, but we are looking for the surname in those cases. If you're going for a name. Okay, question number 3. Have a look at this. Which blank blank, the blank of blank, has a blank of blank on the blank blank? One of these is blank blank in a blank by blank. That's a long final blank. Time starts now. Value on E. Scale on H. Mose on G. The Ritz on J. April on D. Stone on B. As big as on I. 10 on F. Birthstone on C. F. Scott Fitzgerald, that's a long blank on L. Precious on A. And finally, blank K. Novella, which Precious Stone, the birthstone of April, has a value of 10 on the Mohs scale. One of these is As Big as the Ritz in a novella by F. Scott Fitzgerald. That there is time. Let's have a look at some answers. Diamonds for 22 players. Yes, we are looking for a diamond here. Diamond. Yeah, that's a typo answer, but I'll take it, Jack. It's not a sapphire, it's not Richter. But lots of players scoring points. 23 scoring, nicely done. Mark doing the best, 1707, then Nata 1518, Oni 1478, MePG 1461, and Lingo 1426. Yeah, I think a lot. Well, actually, quite a few leaked on Moe's when that revealed itself, because diamond is just one of those things you know about the Moe scale. It's like talc at the other end of the Moe scale. Okay, we've got 2 more left in the round, in the chapter. Let's have a look at question number 4. Blank, blank, and blank, 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 and blank have what blank, which is also given to blank of blank and blank, blank in the blank, blank. Time starts now. We've got process for M, an alloy for H, father for B, sun for C, iron for I, carbon for J, produced for K, mark for E, Elliot for F, Bessemer for L, comedians for D, surname for G, and English for A. English father and son comedians Mark and Elliot have what surname, which is also given to an alloy of iron carbon produced in the Bessemer process? Oh, I saw your answer early on, Puzzle Dan, thinking you're big braining the answer. Unfortunately, you didn't, because it got revealed in the question instead. Cries at Sheffield, says Oni. Very much so. Let's have a look at some answers. We've got bronze, Bessemer, amalgam, stainless, copper, and sterling. Some good answers. Yes, we are looking specifically for a surname here that matches the second part of the question, and these do not match that, I'm afraid. Haber and Smith is not. It is steel! Of course, the Steel City is Sheffield, and the Bessemer process for a cheaper version, or a cheaper way of mass producing steel, and yes, is also the surname for the father and son comedians Mark and Elliot. Steel! Not that steel topper. 13, no, that's coming soon. 13 players scoring some points. ABME doing the best, 1304. Then Proogs 1302, Mark 1301, Zeus 1287, and Jake 12 at 58 on the top row. One final question, then we get to find out who is going to be taking on everybody else in the bonus round in Super Redacted. Let's have a look at your final question. Not quite yet, Oren. The blank blank used the blank of blank, long blank that, the blank 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 and blank 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 are all blank used to blank what blank blank. That is a very long blank E. Time starts now. Systems on M. Okay. just the. Determine on D, C even. Border on A. Interesting spelling, that. Measure on N. System on H. System and systems. Sure, okay. First, I. Activity on P. Additional for F. Member for G. What the hell is that E? D for winner. Past for J. Human for O. Ah, the Eurovision Song Contest on E. L for post. And finally on B, count, the border count used to determine the winner of the Eurovision Song Contest, the additional member system, and first past the post are all systems used to measure what human activity. Stop the count. The border count. apparently. Never heard of it. Let's have a look at some answers, shall we? Is Jack still here? I think he is. Elections, singing, and seismic. Now, I'm going to have to look through my allow list because I think they have been quite broad. Elections, plural. Surprisingly, was not on the list of accepted answers, but I will take because we have election singular as an acceptable answer. The headline answer is voting or casting votes or vote or voting systems, election, electing or elect. Any of those will have been accepted on this. So yeah, some way of describing a voting kind of pattern or voting system, not pattern. Pattern's different, but voting system certainly. Not singing, not seismic, and 9 players going with voting. Fantastic. Nice, easy way of marking that one. 17 scoring points. Zeus doing the best, 13.26. Then Silver Electron, 13.10. Shapes, 13.08. Mark, 12.62. And Proogs, 12.51. That brings us to a close on the main game. Now, all the points that you've earned so far will be converted into doots and will be paid out at the end of the... when we show the leaderboard in a moment. Who is at the top of the leaderboard and who's going to be facing everybody else in Super Redacted? Well, Mark takes the lead at the end, 18,358. Then we got Shapes in second place, 17,043. And then Zeus in third place, 16,707. You can see all those points there. Every single one of them has been converted into a singular doot. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so congratulations on all of those doots being paid out. And to Mark, congratulations, you are the winner of Redacted this evening. You're going to be playing the role of the hot seat player in Super Redacted. Are you going to want that as a whisper message in Twitch? We can sort that out nicely sorted right now while I talk about the rules of the round. Okay, let me send that message over to you. Hopefully, let's find out if it actually will do that for me. Try that. There you go. There is a message for you. You can pause that and think about what you want to do with that information as we talk about how this final round plays out. So, this is Super Redacted. We play it very much like we have just done in the previous round. It will be a long-form question with lots of blanks in it. You need to answer the question. And we are looking for just one answer to fit what the question is asking for. It will be Mark's duty to determine the order in which the blanks are revealed. He'll do that in a one-by-one basis by sending a message A through Z as to which blank to reveal. The more blanks that Mark can reveal before you get it right, the more points, the more doots that Mark can win. However, if you as an audience, as a collective, if 30% or more of you get the answer right, then that is where the game will end. And Mark will lose everything, and you will gain all the doots that you earn in this game. You get more doots the earlier that you can get it right, but be aware, you only have 3 guesses across the entire question, and it could take a while. This round can go several minutes on just this one question, so don't go wasting all your 3 guesses really early on unless you really know what kind of answer to go for. So just bear that in mind. I will give you some ahead knowledge that we are looking for a 2-word answer. So don't go for a singular word answer. We are looking for a 2-word answer. Not always the case in Super Redacted. Sometimes it is just a singular concept. But in this case, we are looking for a 2-word answer. So bear that in mind when you do submit answers in a moment. Again, whisper them to Quizbot 3000 only. We will probably put the game into emote mode just to make sure that you can't spoil anything in this final round. So let's get on with it, I think. Mark has been given the legend, given all of the blanks, and you're all ready to go. So let's see if you can defeat Mark in Super Redacted. Emotes time. It has been enabled. Let's get on with the question. And here it is. Blank known for making this blank include blank, and it is not to be confused with blank blank. In a phrase referencing blank works, this blank is blank blank. Blank blank for it includes blank blank and blank blank. A blank was found in a blank blank, and the subsequent blank 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 is commonly said to have blank blank worldwide. I hope this fits. It does fit. Mark, you are the one in control right now. You can use the letters A through Z to reveal an individual blank. You will have to wait out 10-second cooldown each time you do so, though. Which one do you want to reveal first, Mark? In the audience, if you get it right now, you can get 20,000. But you only have 3 guesses. And there's not enough information out there just yet. All the tension so far, we're not getting anywhere. What information do you share? Jamie Oliver's is the first clue on L. If you think you know what it is, send an answer. 19,000, you'll get it right. But probably with just Jamie Oliver's, you might not. Mark has 10,000 at risk. If Mark wants to bail, they can do so now by saying bail. We'll give you 20 seconds to try and give an answer to try and stop him. Brands on blank A. Mark now has 20,000 at risk. Can bail on that once the cooldown has expired, or might want to push for a bit more. 18,000 if you think you can get it right in the audience. We've had 2 guesses from Dev and Natter, neither of which are right. You will see your name appear in blue on the bottom of the screen if you give me a correct answer, and you'll also see the percentage slide up on the bottom. Established on Y. Mark's got 30,000 at risk in the bank. Can elect to bail. 17,000 for a solve if you can get it in the audience right now. Mr. Game Show's had a go. Not the right answer. Recipe. I've got a brand new recipe on M. Lingo's made a guess. It's not right. Mark now has 40,000 at risk in the bank. Can elect to bail that, or try and push for a bit more. Puzzle Down and Mr. Vertigo going for a chance. Not right. Toot's also trying. Not right. 50,000 at risk now. Case on V. Mark can go for another reveal, or can bail. No one's gone into the second guess yet. We've only had 9 guesses so far. No one's hit it just yet. Remember, I did say that we are looking for a 2-word response to fit this question. Revealing on served in on J. 60,000 now at risk. 14,000 if you can solve it in the audience. Some more guesses coming in. None of them hitting yet. Mr. Game Show only have 1 guess left in the entire question. Same for Colo, not the right answer. Mark's doing a good job of concealing information. Product on I. MePG's giving it a go. Not right. 70,000 at risk for Mark now. 13,000 for a solve in the audience if you can get it right. Jake's going for a guess. Not right. Only 1 more guess for Jake. 80,000 at risk, 140 grams, or 140 G. Certainly feels like it's 140 grams. 80,000 at risk, 12,000 for a solve in the audience right now. Clive's had a go, not right. I think this is the longest we've gone so far without anyone getting it right in a super redacted puzzle. Containing it on T. Natter's had a second go, not right. Only 1 more attempt left for Natter. 90,000 at risk for Mark. 11,000 for a solve in the audience right now. I'm seeing your guess there, Tips. Unfortunately, you're not joined the game, so you can't influence the game. It's also not right. Zeus going for a guess, also not right. A similar on F. Toots going for a second guess, also not right. 100,000 currently at risk now for Mark, doing a very good job of concealing information, but is running out of blanks now. Might have to start giving some really big clues. Glass bottle on S. That's possibly upset the balance entirely based on a lot of the guesses coming through. First correct answer from Jack. Congratulations, Jack. You got yourself 9,000 for that guess. And you've made the first progress in the audience. We're up to 4%. Remember, the threshold is 30%. Mark's on 110,000 at risk. Can go for another reveal, or could just go for a bail. What does Mark dare to do? The longer, of course, that he leaves it, the more time that you have to guess it. Dead Snail on R has given it for Toot on their final guess. Final guess for Game Show is not correct. It means they are locked out. Clyde's go for a second guess, not right. MeePG's go for a second guess, not right. It's not right for Dev, not right for Prugs. Sparkling Water on N. 130,000 at risk for Mark now. 7,000 for a solve with the audience. There's another guess right from Vixen. Congratulations, Vixen. We're a third of the way now, 10%. Topper with Silver Electron giving some guesses. We're not getting it right. Old on D. Zeus has got it right on their final guess, 14%. 140,000 at risk now for Mark. 6,000 for a solve with the Aussie. You get it right. Prugs has got it right on their final guess. 17%. Mark's going for a bail. This is your last chance to get an answer in. 20 seconds to get your final guesses in. Can you hit that 30% mark or not? Not getting it right. Not getting it right. Not getting it right. Last chance to answer now. Topper did get it right on their final guess, but that's not enough to get over the threshold. 20% is where we got to, and that is the end of the game. Mark, congratulations. You are a winner, getting 140,000 doots out of the game. GG indeed. Let's turn the emotes off for now. Don't go spoiling the answer just yet. I'm going to open it up. A lot of players said Yorkshire pudding very early on, Oren, I will say. I saw quite a few people guessing that, but it's not that. The glass bottle kind of route kind of steers it away from cakes and things like that. Let's put that away and start revealing the other blanks. So let's read the full question in its entirety, and then you might go, oh, yeah, that's what it is. So brands known for making this soft drink include Bundaberg and Old Jamaica, and is not to be confused with a similar ale. In a phrase referencing Enid Blyton works, this product is served in lashings. Jamie Oliver's recipe for it includes sparkling water, muscovado sugar, and 140 grams of a certain root. A dead snail was found in a glass bottle containing it, and the subsequent House of Lords case, Donahue versus Stevenson, is commonly said to have established negligence law worldwide. Dev, you are right. It is ginger beer. Natter, not to be confused with its ale counterparts. It literally says that in the question. Yes, ginger beer specifically is what we're looking for here. So well done to 20% of you getting it right across the round. You will get those doots for giving me a right answer. But you did not stop Mark from claiming 140,000 from the game. Congratulations to you, Mark. Some really good revealing of information in that round. I think that was probably as far as you could go without starting to give out some really big information. The snail apparently was enough for Toots to get it right, and Jamaica. Old was the one that got revealed, not Jamaica. So capital Old might have been enough for a couple of players. But Jamie Oliver. Just chucking Jamie Oliver in there as a clue doesn't really help, because you think he does food, not drinks. But that's how it goes sometimes. Yes, Old gave it for Proogs. So well done if you got that right. Commiserations if you didn't, but I hope you had fun. Either way, Mark, our winner of Super Redacted, 140,000 Dukes the Richer. And thank you again to Arun Aromatics for a wonderful pack of Redacted. It has gone on for nearly 2 hours. Yeah, I forgot exactly how long this game goes, but I think the game went well. Honestly, there was that the landmarks versus bridges debate that we had, but I think that was the only real sticking point throughout the entire game. So it kind of worked out all right, and the. Yeah, the only thing that went wrong was Twitch's fault, but that would have happened to any of my other games' score. So that's not exclusively to Redacted. That's just a thing that happened apparently. Comparatively quick wipeout game, very much so. The way I've implemented it now, it is a smite faster how it runs these days. And no black marks. I know, Puzdan. Maybe because my warnings at the beginning of the game heeded the advice to stop messing me around. Yes, it is on the long list of things to hackboxify Sudicat, but as I said at the beginning of this particular game, I wanted to make sure that the game itself is still good enough for me to play to host. If I feel good enough in myself in hosting it. If it wasn't worth doing that, then I'm not going to bother doing the work to do hackboxing of it, essentially. So we're doing this as a test run to make sure that Redacted is still a good game, and we feel like we want to see more of it in Quiz Night, and I think we shall. I think we shall see some more of it in Quiz Night. In which case, then it now goes on to the list of games to hackboxify in future to make it an easier game to interface with. So again, thank you again to Arun Aromatics for the pack, again to Inca for helping proof the pack. I hope you enjoyed Redacted, and I hope you look forward to seeing more of it in future. Right, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break to get some more drink and get the game loaded up for later on. We've got Wipeouts to play in a moment, which, as I say, is as Mark says, is a slight bit faster than this is, and also it is on Hackbox, and I would say Hackbox is the prime experience for this game because it makes life 10,000 times easier to play this game on the Hackbox interface, especially now with gridded choices. So I would say go to hackbox.ca right now, get it loaded up, get it assigned into Twitch as well, because you can only join in if you are signed in on Twitch, and then you'd be good to go. Right, I'll see you in a moment with some Wipeout. So give me 2 minutes and we'll see you then. Bye. Don't touch that dial ... That's somebody else's shtick.
welcome your host on Wipeout, Ash the Bash. To play Wipeout, join in by going to hackbox.ca in your browser and join with the following room code: GJHV. You can even join in on your mobile phone. Alternatively, you can join Twitch chat by entering the room code into Stream Chat or as a whisper to Quizbot 3000. Once done, wait for further instructions on how to play the game.
Can't hear me because I decided to not unmute myself. Shall I start that again? Let's do that whole thing again. Let me go full screen and I'll read the code out again and we'll do that thing again.
To play Wipeout, join in by going to hackbox.ca in your browser and join with the following room code: GJHV. You can even join in on your mobile phone. Alternatively, you can join Twitch chat by entering the room code into Stream Chat or as a whisper to Quizbot 3000. Once done, wait for further instructions on how to play the game.
Thank you again, Mr. Toadboy123, for the introduction and also how to join this here game on hackbox.ca or as a whisper to Quizbot 3000. Joining in on Hackbox is the prime way to play the game. Because it allows you to clicky buttons and deselect and reselect and everything like that. Whereas whispers to Quizbot 3000, as we now know, are difficult. And even more difficult if you don't have a mobile phone to authenticate your account. So even more reason to join in on hackbox.ca. You will need to log in on Twitch on the Hackbox site, because that makes it much easier for me to figure out who you are when you join the game, and to pay out dues at the end. I don't think that would be Oren. I don't believe that would affect the overall flow, but it might do potentially. I don't know why that would do that, because all it needs to know is to log into your account, which is you're already logged in. So I don't see why you would need a requirement for being a verified user with a phone number to do with the overall flow. Don't know. Strange. Ah, my head. Oh, sorry, Dev. Yes, you do sort of just appear out of nowhere on the gyroscope. It's a nice little effect that I put in. Asked me to log in again and sent me an email code for it. Oh, have they changed the Authy flow? Oh, have they changed Authy? I did see a message about that. They did say that they have stopped allowing Authy through through emails. I think you could. Oh, no, sorry, through the app. But you can still do it through SMS. Yeah, if you're using Authy, then you can't. Yeah, they're deprecating certain parts of that. So that might be the bit you're actually talking about, but I don't know. It might just be that they've got a bug in their Auth flow right now, meaning you can't do stuff. But either way, that's not on me. That's a purely Twitch thing. So yeah, again, I can't do anything about that. All I can hope is that you can join the game.
No surfboards needed for this game.
Yes,
Smile.
indeed. No surfboards required for this one. This is the Paul Daniels version. And I must thank again the Wipeout writing team for tonight's game. We have got 3 boards. This time we've got boards written by Oren. We've got a board written by Mr. Vertigo and a board written by Oni. Yes, you cannot escape Oni this week at all. We have a board by Oni as well. Not necessarily in that order, but that's certainly the order that I've just listed out. And if you've never played Wipeout before, it is a very simple game. We give you 16 answers. You need to pick up to 11 of them, because 11 of them will be correct. The other 5, though, are wipeouts, and you do not want to hit them, because they will wipe your score down to 0, regardless of how many points you earned before, even in previous boards. It will wipe it all down to 0. It is unforgiving, unrelenting. Please can the RNG Lord make Oni's board first, please not last. Now, with regards to the order of the boards, they are actually determined ahead of time, because I am aware that certain boards lend different difficulties, and I don't want to put a particularly nasty board in a final position, because that would really screw things up. So it's not RNG at all. These are in a determined order that I've picked ahead of time. So basically, what you're actually asking of it is, hopefully, can you please make Ash not put Oni's board first, or make Oni's board first, not last. That's what you're going to have to hope for, is whether I've been kind or cruel. But you'll find out in a moment when we reveal all. Last chance to get into this game is now past 10 p.m. Room code is GJHV. Presumably, or preferably, should I say, on Hackbox, but you can play on Twitch on the Whisper to Quizbot 3000. Right, it's time to play Wipeout. Good luck, and let's wipe out.
Let's play Wipeout.
Thank you, Paul Daniels. I worried for a moment that it wasn't going to load the questions in, but it did load them in. So, if you're ready, hopefully on your Hackbox devices, what you need to do is clicky buttons and you'll see them. And I will actually issue this as a reminder. You don't have to submit them all in one go. You can submit them in multiple phases. So, early on, you can select a couple of answers and then submit. You must remember to hit that submit button at the bottom of the screen for the system to accept the answers that you have provided. It does not track them along the way. You have to press submit to make it happen. But once you have hit submit, you can then continue adding more answers or removing answers in further submits until the timer expires. So you can keep making changes to your answers and keep submitting those changes until time expires. Just remember you can do that in this particular game, okay? Okay, board number 1 is the following. Second to Walt is pretty good, must be said. Second to Walt is pretty good. Any ideas where we're going with this? Any ideas? Disney Oscars? Disney Breaking Bad Oscars? Well, we're certainly with Oscars, but it's not Disney, because we are second to Walt. That's what we're asking for here, is second to Walt. So who has the second most Oscars or Oscar noms out there? Who's second? Because Walt has the most. I know. Yes, because you wrote the board, Aaron. Spielberg. Well, let's reveal all, shall we? Which of these John Williams scored films got an Oscar nomination for Best Score? So, John Williams is one of the most recognised and awarded film composers and conductors in history. He has been nominated a total of 53 times for the Academy Awards, second only to Walt with 59 nominations. And John Williams' career has spanned over 7 decades. 48 of these nominations have been for Best Original Score or Best Adapted Score, or the equivalent award at that time. The names have changed over time, but we are considering all of those under the term Best Score for the purposes of this question. You will need to select 11 of the 16 John Williams scores which indeed earned him a Best Score nomination. All of them will be scored by John Williams, but only 11 got a nomination at the Academy Awards. Those are the ones you need to pick. You need to avoid the ones he did not get a nomination for. Try and answer as many as you can. You get more points the more you get right. Good luck, and
Answers
let's reveal. And your time starts now. And Oren can sit back because this is Oren's board. Remember to submit your answers. Eleven of these are John Williams films where he got a nomination at the Academy Awards for Best Score or the equivalent in that year. 5 did not. Last few seconds, get your submissions in now. Press that submit button at the bottom of your screen. Do it now. That there is time. Now, some players didn't. I think Zeus there didn't get one in. Chrono didn't get one in. Jack didn't get one in either. It is board one. I'm not going to press the magic button because you have nothing to lose anyway. Yeah, just beware, you do need to hit that submit button if you're playing on Hackbox. The biggest bid we've got is Drahuska going for the full whack 11. Outside of that, we've got a 7 at the bottom left. We've got a 6 at the top right. Colo's go for 4, Shapes with 5, Tips with 4, Jake with 5, Dev with 6. That's with 7 actually. So it'll be a very interesting selection. Let's find out to see where the answers are. And by the way, if we don't hit all the answers and we haven't resolved the board entirely, then we will go for a second round of bidding. So just bear in mind we may be going through these answers in a little bit more detail later on. First of all, let's reveal some answers. We've got Star Wars. Yeah, very much so. Yes, in addition to an Oscar, won 3 different Grammys as well for that. Nice, easy start. Next, E.T. the Extraterrestrial 1982. Won for Best Score, nominated for a total of 5 Grammys, winning 3 of them. Next, Schindler's List 1993. Yes, Oscar, BAFTA, and Grammy winner. Drahuska's doing well. 3 down, 8 to go. Anybody banking out on that just on its own? I don't think so, actually. No one has banked out just yet. Next, Jaws 1975. Also good answer. Won the Oscar, BAFTA, Golden Globe, and Grammy of that year. Next, Close Encounters of the Third Kind 1977. Good answer, yes. Nominated for Oscar, BAFTA, Golden Globe, and Grammy. Try to direct Whisper to the Quizbot, but it may not have registered in time. Yeah, if your number is on a 0, then unfortunately you didn't register any answers, Chrono, so be aware on that next time round. And also, sometimes Whispers aren't working right now. Get me out of there, says Hustle Dan. Yes, you have banked out on 1,500. Nicely done. We've got a bank out on 5,000 from Tipster. We've got 3,000 on Ralph. We've got the Thwomp, I forget the name again of the Thwomp, on 7,500, but still plenty of other bids to go. Drahuska, though, is in overbid territory by at least 1, so we'll be getting a wipeout at least. Continuing on, though, to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, interesting, because I always knew this as Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but if you actually go into like IMDb and things like that, in the US it was originally released with the title Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and has now been homogenized to the original novel name, globally speaking. But yeah, original release was Sorcerer's Stone. But still correct, absolutely. First of 3 films in the franchise to earn Williams a nomination. The Philosopher's Stone, yes, indeed. The Velociraptor Stone. That's brilliant, that. The Velociraptor Stone. I'll give you a ding on that, Oni. There you go, you can have a ding on me. Next, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 2008. They really are a mouthful, those titles, aren't they? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players offering that answer, and I'm afraid it is a wipeout. It was the first film of the franchise that did not earn an Oscar nomination, I'm afraid. So that is a wipeout for those 7 players. Yes, robbed very much indeed, and also robbing you of your hard-earned money in wipeout. You've got 2 more boards. You do have 2 more boards. You can't earn a nomination if it didn't exist. There's an Indiana Jones erasure going on. Okay, continuing on to the next one. Next to reveal is the Poseidon Adventure. We've only got 4 players that have given this answer. Now, that's not looking promising for completing a board, because, as I say, if we go through all of your offered answers and we haven't actually resolved the board yet, then we will go for another round of bidding, so just bear that in mind, eh? Poseidon Adventure 1972. That is correct, yes. Williams was nominated for both the Poseidon Adventure and Images in 1972. Next up, we're going to Hook 1991. 3 players have gone for this. Oh no! No, it was nominated for Best Original Song, but not for the score, I'm afraid. It was a slightly different nomination, but not under the broad category of score. Hard luck there for you three, Nata Oni. That was a wipeout answer, and you just lost everything. Hopefully you can pick it up in boards 2 and 3, or maybe a second bidding phase of this board. Next, we're going to The Adventures of Tintin, or Tintin, 2011. Yes, is correct. First score by Williams for an animated film, in fact, and did get a nomination. Most player scores are resolved at this point. We do have one bid at the top here. We've got Jake on 1 to go, and Drahuska with 4 left to go. Very interesting. I mean, those that have been eliminated with a wipeout, you may still also have a bid to go. It just hides that away when you get wiped out. So we'll see what happens as we keep hitting the button. Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1969 is correct. Yes, shared with Leslie Bricus, I want to say, is the surname there. Yes, it was a shared Oscar nomination, but still counts for this board. Next, Jaws 2, 1978. Well, presumably, yeah. Well, we had Jaws earlier. Did he have success with Jaws 2 as well? I'm afraid not, no. There were no nominations for any major award for Jaws 2, so that is a big old wipeout, I'm afraid. Now, the situation we have on the board is 2 right and 2 wrong left to reveal. We do have some answers left to go through on Drahuska's side, and possibly others. Is there enough, though, to resolve the board in its entirety? If not, we will go for a second round of bidding. Let's see what happens, shall we? Colo and F1 car or other car that I can't identify the avatar of right now. The Accidental Tourist, 1988. Was one of the remaining correct answers. Doesn't do anything points-wise, but it was a correct answer. Yes, nominated for Oscar and Golden Globe. There's only one correct answer left now. There's 2 wipeouts. We're going to Earthquake 1974. If this is the final correct answer, the board is resolved. If this is a wipeout, we do need another answer, otherwise we're all going in for another round of bidding. Earthquake 1974 is a wipeout. You're Kamikaze. Okay, I will try and remember that, Kamikaze. Yeah, unfortunately, not correct for that answer. It is a wipeout. Wow. We are left with Valley of the Dolls, 1967, and Story of a Woman, 1970. Earthquake 1974, by the way, nominated for Golden Globe, but not the Academy Award. So do we have another answer to process? If we do, then that is a resolution. If we do not have any more answers, then we do need a second round of bidding. And Drahuska has provided another answer. Story of a Woman, 1970. So this board is resolved. Is this the final correct answer for a bit of fun, or is this the final wipeout? Story of a Woman. It's a wipeout. Unfortunately not, Mr. Game Show, because the order that the answers get revealed in is not necessarily the order that you provided your answers. So, and the order that I actually show them in might unfairly favour others over others about how they get scored based on the wipeouts and how early or late it cuts off the game, as it were. So I kind of have to play all of the answers out to be as fair as possible. Otherwise, yeah, if we could try and do it earlier on so that we can regurgitate a bit more, but that would be better for gameplay reasons, I suppose, but certainly not for fairness reasons. It's just... This is the problem of doing a mass multiplayer edition of Wipeout. Normally, you take it in turns. Much easier to do that way. But with everybody answering simultaneously, you have to take all of their answers as fairly as possible. Yes, that little pop-up at the end, Jake, was the author bonus, because Oren wrote that board. They get a 10,000 Duke bonus and pushes them up the leaderboard. So that last answer, Valley of the Dolls, by the way, was a correct answer. The award was entitled Academy Award for Best Scoring of Music, Adaptation or Treatment at the time, and it was Williams' first Oscar nomination. The other one that was revealed, story of a woman, Wipeout, that was only non-English language film that Williams has scored, did not get an Oscar nom. So that's the end of board number 1. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. We had a few wipeouts, but don't worry, we've still got 2 more boards to play out as my voice breaks. Vixen is the first off the non-zeros there. As we move up, at the top we've got Milk, Silver Electron, Shapes, Oren, Hey Dev Dev and Sudgy Cat currently tied for the lead on 10,500 dukes. So, 2 players tied for the lead right now at the end of board number 1, but we have 2 more boards to play out. Ready? Board number 2 is this. And I hope you're not colourblind. Mr. Vertigo can sit this one out because this is a Mr. Vertigo board. What are we thinking, folks, about this? I hope you're not colourblind. Oh, you are, Jake. Well, don't worry. We don't have to worry about colourblindness for the actual content, but yeah. Oh, God, it's happened again. Yes, only that does mean your board is final. Charting singles by Darius. Jesus, Darius. Okay. Snooker, says Puzzle Dam. There's not enough colours. Joseph's coat of many colours, Proogs. Goodness me, you're a soothsayer. Which of these colours are included in Joseph's coat from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat? So yes, Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat has a total of 29 colours that are listed in the musical of the same name. Which of these colours are included? So you'll see 16 colours on the board. 11 feature in the lyrics to the song Joseph's Coat, which describes Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. 5 of them do not exist in those lyrics and are therefore wipeout colours. Good luck. Here we go. 45 seconds goes now. "30 seconds. Remember to submit some answers. How bold do you go? 15 seconds. Make sure you hit that button. 10 seconds. Make sure you submit your whispers to Quizbot 3000 if that's where you're going. 3, 2, 1. That is time. Oren just getting a final bid in there. We have, I would say, quite a few higher bids on this particular board. Drahuska going for the full whack 11. We've got Kamikaze on 8. We've got the detective, I don't know the name, unfortunately, on 7. Lots of new avatars I'd like to see. We've got Suddy Cat with 4. Dev on 5 at the top, so Dev might be taking the lead. Though Orange with a bid of 9, only 500 points, so might be taking the lead with that. Well, we'll see. Vixen is the detective. Right, commit to memory. That's Vixen. All right. I think we've got 2 DCs. Yes, they may have just joined the game early and they decided not to play, or either have been disconnected. Either way, we will continue on without them. Right, let's start revealing some answers. We've got Crimson. Yes, indeed. The 18th colour listed is Crimson. Then Ochre. Good, yes. Ochre's the 7th colour listed. Then Rose. Yes, the 20th colour listed. Olive. Yes, the 10th colour. Doing well so far. Anybody banking out right now? Yeah, Flyboy's banked out there on 3,500. Drahuska's got a bid of 9 left. That'll be an overbid of at least 2 at that point, I'm afraid. So hard luck on that one. Next, Emerald. No, there is no Emerald, I'm afraid. A lot of you getting hit by that one. You would find Ruby listed as the 9th colour, but there is no Emerald listed. Yes, one short stay in the Emerald City. That would be from Wicked, a different musical entirely. But yeah, you will not see Emerald on Joseph's coat. You would see Ruby instead. So hard luck there for quite a few players getting wiped out on that answer. Hard luck. Next, we're going to peach. A peach of an answer. Yes, the 8th colour on the list is peach. I was deterred from that because I couldn't make a 3-syllable colour scan in my head. Yes, that's potentially a good way of thinking about it with the lyrics, is that it will all try and be 1 or 2 syllable kind of things. Though, actually, one of these answers is 3 syllable, so there is one that breaks the rule. Next, fawn. That's also correct. The 12th colour on the list is fawn. Sootycat's still looking for 1. Shapes is looking for 1. Dev's looking for 3. Oren is looking for 3 more, with 20,500 currently in the bank. There are 5 correct answers left to go. Next, we're going to lilac. The 13th colour is lilac. Good answer. Anybody else banking out there? I don't believe so. Sorry, Ralph has banked out on 6,000. Okay. Next, russet. That's a potato, isn't it? But it's the 23rd colour, is what it is also. Vixen banking out 14,500. Nicely done. Oren's looking for 2 more. Dev's looking for 2 more. Mark's looking for 2 more on the top row there. Nat is looking for 3 more. There are exactly 3 left on the board that are correct. Potato! Next, azure. Or azure, however they want to pronounce that one. Yes, the 21st colour is azure. Is correct answer. Sootycat banking out 15,500. Oren's looking for 1 more. Topper banking out 13,500. Some great scores right now. Let's call the whole thing off. Cream is also good. 17th colour is cream. Danny banking out 17,000. Oren has completed their bid. 32,500 dukes is the one to beat in the final board. Remember, Oren, you still have that at risk. You could still wipe it out. Kamikaze, you do have a bid of 3. Unfortunately, there's only 1 correct answer left on the board, meaning you are definitely hitting at least 2 wipeouts in your bid. There are 4 wipeouts to avoid, and only 1 correct answer to hit. Is it chocolate? I suppose the way I just said it there is sort of 2 syllable. Chocolate is 3 syllables, but you can say chocolate to make it 2 syllables. Interesting, actually. Never really thought about that. Chocolate is the final correct answer, the 15th colour. All the others are wipeouts. Lime is a wipeout, but you would see lemon as the 22nd colour. Umber is sort of a variation on what was the other one? Ochre. Umber is a variation on ochre, but doesn't exist. We talked about emerald earlier. Mocha doesn't exist, and aqua doesn't exist. So very good knowledge there. Most of the wipeouts being avoided. Just the one emerald got hit by quite a few players. At the end of board number 2, let's have a look at the scores. So still a few wipeouts at the bottom there, but we've got 1 more board to try and claw back some points. Flyboy is the first of the non-zeros, and as we go up to the top row, we've got Sootycat, Danny, Dev, Mark, Nata, and at the top of the board, Oren on 32,500. And we have 1 final board to play, and of course, by process of elimination, that does mean this is an Oni board. It's not the world's most easiest wipeout board. Honest Gov. Board number 3. Communist Test! What are you thinking, folks? Oh, wait, yes. Things that are red. Shame. Stoy! Red. Yes! You're dead. Russians. What an interesting subsection to go for. I mean, I suppose with Communist Test, that's all you can go off of, really. Clint Eastwood movies. No Rolls Barred. Was it John Wayne? Fits the tune of Creature Report. So, Communist Test! The question actually is this. Which of these are officially licensed versions of the board game Monopoly? So, Stoy! On the board, you will see 16 potential versions of the popular board game... ...
We gave Oni the idea to make a wipeout board, and now he is dressed as Stalin.
I mean, that's entirely your decision to do that, Oni. Thank you for the 100 bits. But yes, you're on the board, you'll see 16 potential versions of the popular board game and perennial time waste, Monopoly. 11 of these are real board games, licensed versions of the board game that you can either buy or can buy a physical copy of at some point in time. But don't, because, you know, it's still Monopoly. The 5 that aren't will make your bank disappear. So, 16 potential board game versions. 11 of them are indeed official board game versions. 5 of them are not. If you're ready, that bank never existed. If you're ready, here we go. The final board.
Answers are...
And your 45 seconds starts now. Yes, 11 of these are real. You might be looking at something and thinking, what the hell? Yes, 11 of these are real. $20 seconds. Remember to submit your answers. $10 seconds. Last chance. Submit now. Submit now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bloody hell, Mr. Vertigo, cutting it fine there to get your 1 bid in. But everything has been submitted. Drahuska's still going for a full bid of 11. Prooks has gone for a bid of 8. Oren at the top just trying to go for a bid of 1. Nat has gone for 4. Mark with 4. Dev with 3. Danny with 3. Suddycat bid of 1. Well, let's have a look. Me Producer's gone for a bid of 7. Very interesting. Well, we'll find out how it all plays out. Couldn't decide which one to go for. Well, at least you got a decision in, because if you didn't, I would have wiped that 10,000 away that you earned from being an author. So, let's start with That's where we're starting? God, I hate my life. As if we're starting with Fortnite Monopoly. Yeah, it exists as well. That's what really pisses me off. Apparently the rulebook is out the window for this one. Instead of money, players have health. And the general gameplay of Fortnite is included with fighting your opponents, loot boxes, and the storm. But given how I'm over 12, I really, really don't care. I agree with you on that sentiment there, Oni. Jesus Christ. Well, you're right with Fortnite, I guess. No one's completed their bid with that answer, though. That's very interesting. Just what Monopoly needed: loot boxes, communist test. I suppose that is kind of a loot box of sorts, isn't it? Community chest. Next, Millionaires Club. Millionaires Club. Fire up that rock and roller. Never a board game, I'm afraid. Definitely existed as a game show, aired for 2 seasons starting in 2015, but never had its own board game spin-off, I'm afraid. That is why I was explicitly saying in the question, board game. There might be official licensed Monopoly blank, but it must be a board game, a thing you can actually physically play as a home game. And that is not a board game, I'm afraid. Never was. It was a TV show, yes, and you can fire up that rock and roller if you want to do that, but not on a board game, I'm afraid. So sorry, everybody that submitted that. That is a wipeout, and that is the end of your game. Or maybe not. We might have gone through not all the answers on the board. We might go for a second round of bidding. Don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll find out as we play it out. Next, the longest game ever. I mean, they already are pretty long games of Monopoly sometimes. Well, they certainly feel like long games. I know other board games out there can last much longer than a Monopoly game can, but they don't feel as long as that. The Monopoly longest game ever. Yes, this one from 2019 is a prime example of accentuating the negative. The board has over double the spaces, there's only one dice, and the game is over not when the opponents go bankrupt, no, but when one player literally owns everything, i.e. they own a monopoly. Thanks, I hate it. Sailor Moon, that's a thing, is it, DLC? Amazing. And I have to look into that. Next, we're going to go to Ms. Monopoly, because of course that works so well for Ms. Pac-Man. Clearly, we're going to go Ms. Monopoly. Is correct, yes. Now, here's an interesting one. The billion-dollar company tries to tackle a hot-button issue like gender equality and ends up being insultingly patronising. Go figure. Oh, sorry, Kelsey Priest. That's the one I should have said. This box of soulless corporate nothing has all of the properties replaced with things invented by women and somehow forgets to name-check Elizabeth Maggie, or Maggie, the inventor of the Landlord's game. So they tried, bless them, they tried, but it was unfortunately insultingly patronising. Hashtag opinions. But it is correct. Certainly a correct answer for the purposes of scoring. Sudicat banking out 16,000, doing very well. Topper banking out 15,000, doing very well indeed. But we will see if this is the end of the board, or maybe not. We will continue on to socialism. Monopoly socialism. That definitely makes sense, right? Well, apparently it does. They did it. Less a game and more a punching down exercise. Monopoly socialism has players maintain a community bank to achieve projects, with the game almost always ending when the bank runs out and everyone loses. Or, and here's the wonderful thing, if someone embraces the wonders of capitalism and screws everyone else over instead. Ha ha! Capitalism! Jesus Christ. Banking out pretty much all along the top row there. Oren on 33,000, Mark on 24,000, Dev on 21,000, Danny Gambit on 20,000, and Sudicat previously already on 16,000. Shapes is looking for 3 more to complete their bid. Let's continue on, shall we? Speed! Monopoly Speed. Well, we had the longest game ever. Do we also have the shortest game ever with Monopoly Speed? Or are we talking about the film, maybe? Either way, it's a correct answer. Yes, Speed, released in 2018. This streamlines the game heavily to the point that the game lasts exactly 5 minutes and 15 seconds long, or equivalent to 2.244 outrights. Only still prefers the quarter outright, though. Monopoly, the bus that couldn't slow down. I'd love to see that, actually, because basically you set every dice roll to be at least a certain value. Like minimum 6. Minimum 6 faces each time. There you go. That's how it works, right? I'm writing the rules as we go along. That's what Dom does, right? Vixen banking out 16,000. Very well done. Puzzledan has banked out on 3,000. Next up, we're going to McDonald's. In my mind, I put Monopoly before each title, so Monopoly Speed, not Speed Monopoly. Fair enough, Dev. Also, Monopoly, Ms. Monopoly. We're talking to McDonald's. Now, McDonald's do a Monopoly promotional tie-in thing every year. But was there ever a McDonald's board game Monopoly thing? A Monopoly? Was there ever a Monopoly board game? No, there was not. Shapes! 15,500 going in the bin. No, there never was a board game of McDonald's, I'm afraid. As I say, despite there being a scam dressed up as a promotion in McDonald's stores every year, there has never been an official McDonald's Monopoly board game. Unlucky there. Unlucky Shapes and a couple of players joining you on that answer. Oh, man. So, the situation is, actually, lots of correct answers still to go. 6 correct answers and 3 wipeouts. We have Mr. Vertigo with a bid of 1 and Tipster with a bid of 1 in the live players, but we also have all those players that got wiped out earlier on may still have some answers to give. Let's just continue on and find out if we're going to go for a second round of bidding or not. Next up is Not where I thought we were going next, but apparently we're going to Swindon next. What a lovely place that is. Both Tipster and Mr. Vertigo, interestingly, have gone for this. Of all the places to pick in the UK, Swindon. Yes. I mean, there's also Monopoly Peterborough. There's presume there's Monopoly Sheffield out there somewhere. In October 2013, people crying out for representation of the world's dullest town in the world's dullest board game had their wish granted with Swindon Monopoly, a game representing such a cultural vacuum that a literal roundabout was their version of Mayfair. Was it really? The magic roundabout was their version of Mayfair. Jesus Christ. Chance cards include you fell asleep on the train and ended up in Bristol. Because of course there is. Tipster and Mr. Vertigo banking out on 11.5 and 10.5 apiece. So, all of the players at the top of the board have now resolved their answers, but there are still answers to give from those that were wiped out previously. We will continue processing those answers. If we are left with an unresolved board, we will go for a second round of bidding. Next up, we're going to space! Yes, of course. Of course we need to go. Yeah, turns out space is corrupted by capitalism after all. You lied to me, Tim Curry. Yes, there is Monopoly Space. In this version, released in 2020, players mine resources and construct domes to colonize planets in the solar system, with the winner being the first player to build a full colony and return back to Earth. Space! I'll buy Venus for $250. There'll just be units at that point. Yeah, for those of you who don't know why Tim Curry's referenced, you do need to look that up. You really need to look that up. Oh, God. We continue on processing answers in the wipeout zone. Gamer. Crash Band... Jesus Christ, that's a sentence and a half. Monopoly. Gamer. Crash Bandicoot. 100 bits.
You said unit.
Did I? I did say unit. I did indeed. Thank you for the 100 bits there, JB. Sure. God, no. Please, no. Please, no. Thank God. But there are a few gamer editions of Monopoly. I mean, we did have Fortnite earlier, but that's not a gamer edition. That's just Monopoly Fortnite. But there is gamer edition Mario, Sonic, and Overwatch. Overwatch, really? Monopoly Gamer Overwatch edition. Boo. We are looking now on the board with 4 correct answers to go and 2 wipeouts to go. Are we going to get a second round of bidding? I don't know. Jesus, this is a mouthful and a half. Monopoly, Space Jam, A New Legacy. I mean, if we're getting gamer editions of Mario and Sonic and Overwatch, then we might as well get Space Jam under there. Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD. Sorry, I've got that stuck in your head now, folks. Yeah, Space Jam... A New Legacy is correct. Yes, it's a tie-in with that Space Jam sequel that we all forgot about in 2021. This one contains a basketball hoop and launcher, which allows you to claim more money every time you pass go, challenge your opponents to duels, or escape jail using skillful ball control. Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD. We have a Laura Daughter. Jesus Christ. Bloody monopoly. Bloody capitalism. That's what it really is. Next up. Red Bull Racing. Because that's what Formula 1 needs now. Is Monopoly. They really need the money from Monopoly? Really? Red Bull Racing. Jesus Christ. Made after the 2022 Formula 1 season, this version allows you to experience being Max Verstappen. Namely, winning everything whilst constantly complaining and looking miserable all the time. Hashtag opinions. For some reason, the board is bilingual, with one side in English and the other in German. Cool. And it's lights out and Max Verstappen wins. So yeah, Monopoly Red Bull Racing exists as well, folks. Okay. Yeah, not Austrian, German. And not Dutch, German. So there's 2 correct and 2 wrong left on the board. We're still processing answers. Last edition. Well, let's say it's the last edition, but is it really? Monopoly, last edition. I mean, it does exist, yes. So the last edition is one of the rarest. This version was given to all employees at the Parker Brothers factory in Salem, Massachusetts, before its closure in 1991, following the merger into Hasbro. As only 650 of these were made, the game sold for upwards of $2,000 online. It's basically the same edition as the 1991 edition, but it is packaged up with a different kind of box design to say that it is the last edition of Monopoly, essentially. So yeah, that was a nice little touch, that one. Certainly less corporate than the rest of these, or less capitalistic than these. That leaves us, though, with 1 correct and 2 wipeouts left on the board. If we hit a correct answer, then that resolves everything. If we hit a wipeout, we haven't resolved it just yet. That's presuming we have other answers to go. We do. We've got Imagine Dragons next. Colo, Jake, and Drahuska in the Wipeout Zone believe Imagine Dragons had a Monopoly edition. Imagine Monopoly Dragons. Well, I mean, there is Dungeons and Dragons Monopoly, I believe. I think there's How to Train a Dragon, maybe. But Imagine Dragons. Despite being the monopoly of music, e.g. they're crap and yet somehow massively popular, Jesus Christ, only, there's never been an officially released Imagine Dragons version of Monopoly. Yet.
That answer seemed a bit radioactive.
Oh, goodness me, Malk. Thank you, 100 bits. Yeah, Only's definitely got the claws out on this one. So, we are left between... This is an interesting decision between here. Trivia and Vegemite. 100 bits of Jake.
I'm waking up to ash and dust.
Thank you, 100 bits. So, yeah, it's a 50-50 between Trivia and Vegemite. One of these is correct and one of these is wrong. If we don't have any more answers to process, we will be going for another round of bidding on a 50-50. If I hit the pick button and there is an answer, then we are resolved. Do we have an answer to process? You have Jake Pawson to thank. We do have an answer to process. Jake went with Vegemite. So the board is resolved. The scores are now locked in. But just for fun, Vegemite Monopoly? Yeah, it was a thing. Or is a thing, because it's pretty recent. To celebrate, 100 mighty, M-I-T-E-Y, years in Australia even, getting mixed up with Red Bull now, there indeed was an official version of Monopoly released in 2023 based on Vegemite, where players, instead of becoming property magnates, collected one of the 22 different jars of the mystery brown gunk sold across the past century. There are no words. Yeah, just buy different jars of Vegemite. There you go. And put it in your Vegemite sandwich, sure. The other answer is a wipeout. Monopoly Trivia. There has never been an official quiz-based Monopoly, and given how bad Trivial Pursuit is, thank Christ. You're buying a regular jar of Vegemite for $400. Oh, at the end of board number 3, thanks for that, Oni. Let's have a look at the final scores. So, unfortunately, quite a few wipeouts at the end there. Hard luck, but I hope you had a load of fun. First of our non-zeros are Puzzle Down with 3,000. And our top row, we've got Vixen, Suddycat, Danny, Dev, Mark. And our winner is Oren on 33,000 dukes. Congratulations.
Thank you for the existential crisis.
You're very welcome, but you have Oni to thank for that particular board. Thank you for the 100 bits. And again, thank you to Oni and Oren Mistarel and also to Mr. Vertigo for the 3 boards for Wipeout this evening. I do believe the dukes have just been paid out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that game of Wipeout. Oh my god. Why Monopoly? For fuck's sake, why Monopoly? 50 bits from Silent Marine. Oh yeah, it's 50 bits. It doesn't do text to speech. Should I blame Oni for feeling depressed now? Yeah, I think so. Because it's there. Not there. Mirage. I wish. Right, that brings us to a close on Wipeout this evening. Let me roll the credits and then we'll do some final stream stuff where we do a bit of a wheel spin. 100 bits from Oni.
There's gonna be a container of poor judgment too. And you know what's in it.
Not there. Mirage. I'm not predicting anything, Oni. Thank you. Please. God, no. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to say bye now, all right? Bye! Ow! Sorry. Oh, it's really the lobby.
And join with the following room code.
Go away, lobby. Sorry for that really loud noise. I didn't expect it to run directly into the lobby like that. And that was a very, very loud noise. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of... oh, hello. Noises. The end of the main part of the stream.
The one and only time I've ever used my drama degree. 9k well spent on Joseph's colours.
Nicely done. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Vixen. And we have plenty more of those kinds of questions around these parts. So do continue tuning in and hopefully more of that drama degree will pay off for you in quizzing content. Yes, it is time to slide the chat. There you go. Sorry, I should have gone that way. Sorry, let me do the move again. I need to go from here over to here, like that. There we go. That's what I needed to do. Cha-cha slide, real slow. So yes, we've got a wheel spin to consider. We had a jackpot spin along with tipping point, which was what a start to season 14 that was. Yeah, we're doing a chat dance. Very much doing a chat dance. Hang on. Let's position the wheel slightly better. There we go. It's in a better shot now. Don't know if it's possible. I love a game show SFX. I might be able to do that, Mr. Vertigo. I think that's possible with how I have it set up in OBS. So yes, I might be able to set sound effects for the slidey chat. Slow it down. Catchphrase square reveal. Ooh, interesting. Slide on.
Like
no, different game.
One lap that slide was like.
Really? Okay, thanks for the 100 bits there, Puzzle Dan. Appreciate that. Right, it's time for a spin. Let's make that happen and press the button. God, it's nearly 11. What is this, a Ben stream? Sorry. Here we go. I need that button. Go. Zoom. Oh, I've loosened it quite a lot tonight. We're going to be here a while. Yeah, I loosened it a little bit too much, I think. Just more drama. It's going to be a marble race for 10,000 dukes. Let's bring you back in like that. There we go. So yeah, we're doing a marble race, 10,000, and we will add 10,000 to the jackpot total for next time. So that'll be increased to 210,000 doots. Dollary somethings. Well, they're doots. That's what they are. They are exactly doots. So what I need to do is load up the marbles. So let me sort that out. I also need to sort that thing out. Now I have magic buttons to do things. I have to update marbles. Yay. Need to do an update, because of course I do. Let's put disco music back on. While that is updating, I'll quickly talk you through the weekend's procedure. We've got Ben, Royal_Flush. Let me do a shout out for Ben, Royal_Fluderich. We'll be hosting some quiz content tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. On his side, it will be Plinko, the quiz, followed by Google That, followed by Risky Business. That's happening at 8 p.m. GMT over on Royal_Flush. After that, you've got, if I can do the other command, I think I can do the other command. There we go. Shout Quantum Stream Game Show. At around 1 in the morning UK time, Saturday night to Sunday morning, it will be Quantum Stream the Game Show hosted by Lee Eck. Hi, Lee. Wonderful quiz that, a load of fun, and the Buffer Zone is one of the best kind of best games that you can see on Twitch as an interactive player. Then following that will be, he's just made himself apparent, he's been able to draw himself away from some Balatro. Mr. JB Henry XIV will be doing some Wheel After Dark after Quantum Stream the Game Show on Saturday. But of course, there's some anniversary, 4-year DFIU anniversary next week, where there's all sorts of stuff happening over the weekend. And yes, tonight JB's doing some SSX. Oh, nice. Part of C365 and some theatre stuff as well. Right, well, that's happening over the weekend outside of me. Let's continue trying to load up marbles on stream now that it has updated. Let's go and bring you over here. Fantastic, season 50 has arrived. I know, I've already seen it. And we will do a race, a community race based off of an Oni track. There we go. And let's change layout. Hopefully you'll get to see some marbles appear. There we go. So if you'd like to play, join in on this race on marbles, you need !play in chat. That's what you need to do. This is slightly different now. This is a slightly different thing. It looks like it's a window, but it actually isn't. But it looks slightly different now. And I can change the countdown time. That's new as well. Or maybe that's always been there and just they've made it more publicly available, either way. But yeah, Oni has unleashed the thing. That's the name of this track. He has unleashed the thing. And, well, whatever you've done is... You've definitely unleashed it, whatever the thing
call
is.
It Plinko the marble race.
Oh, here's the Balatro. Here's the Balatro for everybody. Yeah, it's Plinko Balatro. There you go. Thank you for the 100 bits, Puzzle Dan. Appreciate that. Do we have any ideas of tracks, music tracks to play for this? What are we thinking? Ridge Racer. No. We're having some Daytona because it was sort of referenced earlier. We're going to do some Daytona because why not? Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. No, we are doing some classic Daytona USA. Is what we're doing. Right, it is a race for 10,000 marbles. Let's do RNG random.org. We will do first, last, and random position rules tonight.
Daytona.
Yes, that's the one. Let's go away. Thank you for the 100 bits. Let's generate a random position between 1 and... 1 and 28, not 38. 1 and 28. 21. That is the position. Okay, so first finish, last finish, and 21st place. All three of those positions will pay on this race. So the first to cross the finish line, the last to cross the finish line, and whoever happens to be in 21st place, which could be a DNF position. Yeah, we play blackjack. Clearly, we play blackjack tonight, Puzzle Dan. Rather than Balatro. So let's get this race underway. Press start for the countdown, and we'll get Daytona USA music playing right now. Daytona. Silly Cat's first out of the Plinko. Heading the way down. Prue's getting a better route though. Still with the lead through the tunnel. And then up the lift we go. Excuse me? Apparently first is not first. I don't know how that works, but okay. Oh, because you're going up to go down. I see. This is definitely not a complete confusing track whatsoever. I think it is Tipster currently in the lead right now. Or maybe not. Yes, I think so. We'll say that. Yeah, Tipster's in the lead. Yeah. Where you going, Tip? You're heading slowly down. Finding the route. Oh, that's... What the hell's that? That's interesting. New fan blade. And then it's a bit of a 50-50, left or right. But you can get over that edge, so don't go with too much speed. Floaty snow, that's what it is. Interesting. Tips is still the lead. Getting a knock from JB. That's very rude of you. Who's going to get the nice line? Oh, JB's gone straight down. Round the cylindrical plinko. Don't go too far. That's an edge you do not want to take. Go back, go back. There you go. Over the cones. Nice route through there. Going down, down. And here's the final finish, whatever the hell this thing is. Finding a hole, and JB is first to finish. Nicely done. These are all test tubes. Okay. Sure. Interesting finish, that. 1 minute to finish. Ralph, I hate to say it, but you're going a bit slow. There's the fire. You need to be moving a bit faster. 35 seconds. Who's down here? Mr. Vertigo, Prug, score count, Chrono. Got to make a bit of a beeline now. That's the way, Prugs. Keep it going, keep it going. You're on the final stretch. You are a finisher, I think. You find yourself in a hole. Where am I? Nightmare, no. 50 seconds, score count, can you get in the hole? Yes, you can. Chrono, can you get in the hole? Yes. Mr. Vertigo is the final finisher. And that's a nice new shot, that. Winner, JB Henry. Very well done, JB. There we go. Let's pay out some doots. JB Henry gets 10,000 doots for the win. You love marble racing.
I love marble racing.
And let's have a look at the final positions. Mr. Vertigo was final finisher. So Mr. Vertigo gets 10,000. And 21st place goes to We Like Shapes. You get 10,000 doots for 21st place. Only one DNFer. It was, unfortunately, Ralph with the slow pace. Everybody else finished. That's very rare. It's very rare to see. But that's how it goes. I would have won if we had a rolling start. Sorry, Jerry. I do apologise. Hang on. You want a rolling start? Here you go. Have a rolling start on me. Here you go. Here's a rolling stone. Epona! There you go. Have your rolling start. So, that brings us to a close on tonight's stream. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed the return of Redacted. I hope you enjoyed Wipeout. Next week, on Wednesday, I won't be here. I will be with family attending funeral. Friday, I will be coming back, though. What have we got for you next Friday? It is, if I look on my schedule, Equation Grid Warm-Up, The Vault, written by David J, and 1 versus 100 by you wonderful people out in the community. That's what you look forward to from me next week. Is just the Friday stream. No Wednesday stream from me, but I might still be around doing other stuff instead. But I will be with family on the Wednesday and the Thursday. Take care, and I will see you next Friday in a week's time. Do we got? That's some terrible English, Ashley. Do we have anyone to go and raid into? Do we have anyone to raid into? Well, we can say trivia or Vegemite. Let's have a look. If JB's on now, then we can go and raid into JB right now. But I don't know if he's going live now. Is he going live now? 7 Eastern. So no, he'll be on in about an hour. So can't raid right now. Thank you, Dev. Yes, Trivia or Vegemite is going to be our raid message, I think. Spud Gun's on. Sure. Yeah, we'll go and raid into Spud. We will go and raid into Spud Gun. There you go. And yeah, it's Trivia or Vegemite. That is your raid message tonight. Trivia or Vegemite. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you next Friday for some more quiz night. Take care. I'll see you soon.